doing multiple things at once. Excuse me. Doing alright. Better reading through the notes myself. Not really sure how I feel about them at the moment. I read them when they put out the article a few months ago. But this one I didn't fully read it. I tried to get through it quickly and not read too much. But I'm just gonna mainly look for things for top lane. So I'll probably skim through everything else for the 80 carries, assassins, and supports fairly quickly. I played with them a little bit on PB, so I remember most of what they were about. I'll just look at any number changes that may have changed that I remember at least. Hey Lord Lunchad, how you doing? I'm doing good. I'm just about to get over the patch notes. Alright, let me recheck something one more time. Alright, we're good. Welcome in, monks, to the patch 14.1 rundown. Hopefully this season, Yorick and top lane in general will feel much more better. We will also be having like a new ranked system, but the thing that we're going to be looking forward to the most is the Void Grubs and the Void Mites with all the Void monsters, because now top lane will have more incentive for you to gank or be topside, otherwise the enemy jungle will just take the camp. And outside of that, since it deals more damage to towers, split push should be more viable as well. So hopefully things switch up between a team fighting comp and a split push comp way more often. These are just guessing when the season starts. I think for NA is like in 18 hours, but yeah. Ranked rewards, we're gonna get a Trendemir Victoria skin. Well, it'd be like that. Void changes. This is it. This is where we want it. The top lane objective. Void Grubs and Void Mites. And they're buffed to Hunger Up the Void. I just call them Grubbies. How do I stutter on Grubbies? But this jungle monster camp, it will basically spawn at 5 minutes into the game. And every 4 seconds in combat, or every 12 seconds in combat, they will spawn 4 Void Mites, which is basically the white ones that run around. If you kill one of them, the rest will get a shield that decays, and then if you kill one, they will respawn again after 4 minutes. You basically have to get 5 of these to get 1 Void Mite to follow you, not follow you, but like help you take a tower. And if you get all 6, you will get 2 Void Mites instead. Outside of that, you will just deal burn damage to the tower. So that's gonna be fun. Help you siege a bit faster. For melee, it's stronger, but for range characters, it's probably weaker. Yeah, for melee, it's like 4 every half a second, but for range, it's 3 true damage every second. These will stay up until plates go down, and it seems like they will despawn at 13:45. But if they're in combat, they stay at 13:55. So during that time, since the Void Mites will spawn and die, even if you go there with just Maiden, you will be able to get like 4 graves and be able to help your jungle do it. Or if you have a very good shoved in state in the lane, and the enemy just playing back, maybe you can shove the enemy in, go down there, and potentially take one, and then go back up to lane, because the moment you get one of these, it will alert the whole map that you took it, kind of like if an enemy takes Dragon, or if Herald. So yeah. These are their stats, but that's not important. The only thing that you need to know is that you shouldn't allow the enemy to get 5 or 6 of these. You shouldn't even allow the enemy to take these, because it's very good for us specifically as split pushers. So just gotta keep that in mind. And Rift Herald, they changed her a lot. This part I didn't read too much into it, but from what I can remember on the PBE, Rift Herald now spawns after plates, so we can no longer go take Rift Herald or help our jungler with it and use it for plates, which I'm gonna miss that, but it's fine. I'm mostly gonna miss the fact that we won't have 2 Rift Heralds in the game. But I guess at least now nobody will use Rift Herald too poorly. If you get Rift Herald after 14 minutes, you will most likely use Rift Herald to, like, you know, push down a tier 2 tower, or potentially you take down the first tower and keep pushing with her to the next tower. But that will come into play with the new Rift Herald change. Basically, when you spawn Rift Herald, she will just charge down the closest lane like normal. But you can also click on Rift Herald to channel and basically take a ride with her. You just gotta be careful of when you take a ride, because if she's not facing towards the tower, you will basically have to ride her in an awkward state to, like, drive around and then get to the tower. And then if you actually headbutt into the tower, Rift Herald will spawn how many? She basically spawned the Void Might, the white ones, but I don't know how many. Gotta read to find out now. Hi Corey, how you doing? Let's see. Rift Herald now has Baron's Gauge, which reduces damage taken from the last enemy attack by 50%. Oh, so Rift Herald is way more tankier. Okay. Empower Recall. The holder gains Empower Recall until the eye is used or expires. Ah, we already have that. No, that's changed. All allied champion who assisted in killing Rift Herald gains a single completed use of Empowered Recall. Ah, so now if you have Rift Herald, you don't have the Baron Recall. You will only have it for one time after you recall. Okay. But it will be given to everybody that helped kill Rift Herald. Nice. Sharing gold. Sharing is caring. True. Rift Herald grants any golds it gains from turrets placed to the player that summoned them. If they weren't around. Oh, never mind. This is what it was, and this is what it's gonna be. Rift Herald grants any gold from turrets placed to all champion who assisted in killing the Rift Herald. Okay, so my jungle can take the Rift Herald, and they'll be more happy to give it to me, because the more towers I get with Rift Herald, the more gold they will also get. Interesting. That kind of means now that I don't want my whole team to help me do Rift Herald, because otherwise I would share the gold with all of them. Maybe that's a bit selfish, but I don't care. I got the Rift Herald for one reason. That's to snowball my lead. Let's be honest. That's nice. The Rift Herald receives one use of charge when used, which is summoned as soon as the player hops onto the Rift Herald. Automatically charges tower unpiloted. Oh, that is true. If you fail to drive the Rift Herald, you will basically have used the Rift Herald's headbutt charge, and Rift Herald will just start walking towards the tower instead. So you gotta make sure that you either just let Rift Herald walk on her own and headbutt, or if you drive her, you actually hit the tower, because if you don't, she will not charge again. The charge lasts for 14 seconds. Okay. So I guess you can drive Rift Herald for 14 seconds. Starting movement speed gaining, this is increased. Charge will end the collision with a tire, reducing Rift's health by 65, ejecting the player. This also deals 200 damage, plus 75 with the player's attack range. Fuck. I don't know. In the event of every charge hits a live tower, the ejecting distance is increased. Okay. If a player is hit... Wait, if players steers Rift Herald through enemies, including champions, the enemy will receive 250 true damage and will be knocked airborne. Nice, yeah, so the player steers into an enemy structure. Bonus 2000 damage based on champion now will be dealt to the tower structure. Well, 5, the number of 5 plus the number of Hunger of the Void stacks of the user. Void Master will attack the tower, and the player will gain a temporary shield. Ooh. I didn't see this far from last time, so basically, if you ride Riftherald into a tower, she will deal a bonus damage of 2,000 damage extra to the tower. Interesting. Does this say what's the default base damage of it? It doesn't say, but I'm guessing it's the same as before. Unless I missed it. Doesn't say how much damage the first one does, just that it deals 2,000 bonus damage. Okay. That's a lot though. But now this also gives us a reason to like make sure we get the grubs, because by default if Riftherald hits a tower and you were driving her, she will summon 5 Void Mites, which is again the small white void grubs. But it'll also increase the number by how many stacks you have of the Hunger of the Void. So if you're lucky and you get all 6 stacks, when you use Riftherald, you basically have 11 Void monsters attacking the tower. That's awesome. Doesn't say that the gold is split from tower kills with Riftherald. It doesn't. Did I misread it? Sharing is scaring. Riftherald and gold. Auto cast. Oh, it says it here, no? Does say grants. Riftherald grants any gold it gains from turrets. From turrets / turret plates to all champions who assisted in killing the Riftherald. And that makes it confusing. Because this is what it used to be. Sharing is Riftherald grants any gold from turrets or plates to the players summon them if they weren't around. Maybe it is confusing. I'm not sure now. Brain fart. Oh, this one is to the player, which is the same. Like, if I summon Riftherald and Riftherald gets gold from towers, I get the gold for that. But this one says when Riftherald gains gold from towers, it grants the gold to all champions who assisted in killing it. So yeah, you misread it. I was correct the first time. So basically, to like re-explain it, if your Master Yi jungle helped you take Riftherald, and you use Riftherald, even if he's not topside when you take the gold with it, when you take the tower, Master Yi will also get the gold from it. And if all your teammates helped you, all your teammates will also like gain gold from how many towers you get with Riftherald. That's interesting. So yeah. I guess now everybody wants to come get Riftherald. Kinda sucks, but it'd be like that. Autocast. Upon expiring, the Riftherald will autocast with no channel time and summon Riftherald. And if your champion is truly dead, Riftherald is spawning in your team. So, bro, that's a blessing! You will no longer lose Riftherald if you're in the middle of combat or if you're dead. So if you die with Riftherald will just spawn outside of your base, like inside of your fountain. That's actually great. Yeah, it basically split the goal between 5 people. But this change is the biggest one, I would say. Because so many times I'm thinking of when I'm about to spawn Rift Herald, and sometimes I find myself in combat because my pets are attacking somebody somewhere else on the map, and I'm unable to summon the Rift. Or right before I'm about to spawn the Rift, I get ganked, jumped, and then I die, and I'm like, and I didn't get a chance to summon the Rift. So this is also nice. It's like I guess it's like a pity system. Makes you feel better for when times you just died unexpectedly or was in combat or you just didn't summon it for whatever reason. That's nice. That's actually nice. Nice. Voidborn Sentinel, Brambleback, and Scuttler. Rest of Insight. Once Baron Asher emerges on the Rift, the next time blue buff and red buff spawn, they will rise again as a Voidborn Sentinel. With 30% more HP, also comes with increased durability, making them harder to take down. But now whoever takes the blue buff will grant it to their entire team. Excluding any out, they were dead. Yeah, makes sense. So basically now, after Baron spawns, if you take blue buff or red buff, your entire team will get the buff. They're just harder to kill. That's basically what it's saying. Blue buff gives less ability haste, and this is just HP regen stuff. When the blue buff becomes Voidborn, they no longer transfer the opponent's upon the owner's death, mainly to prevent giant messes with everyone having blue buffs at all times. So basically now after Baron, if I kill somebody with red buff, I won't get their red buff from them or their blue buff from them. So after Baron, you can't kill somebody that has a buff to get their buff. And that's just so because the moment you kill one of them, everybody will have it, and basically at any point in the game, everybody will keep having a buff because you're going to keep killing each other back and forth, unless you just do nothing and it expires. That's cool though. And for Scuttle, upon that, Draconic Sentinel Bramble will give the giant split. Starting at 20 minutes, we'll say Draconic. Why do you call it Draconic Brambleback? Okay. Okay. We also have a non-void related update for our favorite Sentinel Brambleback, introducing Draconic Sentinel Brambleback. These versions are themed once the Elemental Rift is locked in as the second Drake is slain. Unlike their Voidborn counterpart, though, no respawn is required for the buff to become Draconic. Okay. Slain. The version of respawn. Buffs unchanged. Drop a duplicate of their buff at the original spawn. Only one buff will be shared with the allies, while the other one must be claimed. This is like the current blue buff and red buff after your jungle basically unlocks their jungle pet fully. Kind of like how they leave the iron buff with blue buff and red buff. Now after the elemental Drake is locked, like once you know all the remaining dragons will be either ocean, wind, or whatever, your current red and blue buff will basically just start to share the buffs, so two people can have the buff in that time. Whoever takes it and whoever walks over it later on. Okay. Misreading around, report it. And for Scuttlecrab, I just know that if you basically kill Scuttlecrab, it will explode in a big AoE of vision and leaving wards with 1 HP. That's all you need to know. Baron changes. Probably a lot of Baron changes. But it's basically going to be 3 Barons and 3 Baron maps, or Baron area maps. Hunting Baron, which is basically normal Baron. All-Seeing Baron, which is different. And Territorial Baron, which has a big wall around it. Pretty sure. it has like one random wall in front of it. Alcyon Baron has like a really long lane that comes towards it. They probably have pictures on them. No, they don't have fucking pictures. Oh, they do. Yeah, see. Territorial Baron, it has this wall in front of it. Alcyon Baron has like this long lane in between it. And each of these Barons will deal a unique attack. I don't remember that anymore. Hunting Baron, okay, this one has the lightning in an area. Alcyon Baron, which attack does this one have? Baron restore 2 forest enemies. Isn't this is one with like a dot damage on the ground? Yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm pretty sure this is the one with like a weird rift damage over time buff on the ground. Not buff, but like it deals damage to you. And Territorial Baron basically has hands that will pull people towards it. He grabs all enemies in a cone. Yeah, basically Blitzcrank. So Hunting Dragon has lightning. Alcyon Baron has like poison ground, and Territorial Dragon has fucking hands. That's pretty much it. It probably is stronger. 350 movement speed, lol. Whoever wrote this is a fucking troll. I'm assuming his stats have been changed a little bit, but I played PBE yesterday and I still could somewhat solo Baron, so we would just have to see. But these are the difference. The Baron with the horn is basically normal Baron, except it has lightning. The Baron with no horn basically has this wall in front of it, and this is the one that basically will use his hands to grab you. And the Baron with an eye basically has this long lane, and this long lane is gonna put poison on the ground. Just think of it that way. That's pretty much it. There's gonna be big terrain changes for top lane, so like nobody can gank you anymore from behind you, unless you're looking to dive you. So you could still ward the Tribush, but it's somewhat useless. You will most likely ward this only if the jungle can like hop over the wall to dive you or something specifically, because this wall is very long and it's gonna protect you like from. This wall is very long. It's gonna protect you from ganks for sure if you're on this side of the map. This wall is a bit shorter, but the lane is way more up, and there's only one bush down here that you can ward now. So yeah. Now everybody will just basically ward this one, and if somebody drops a pink ward in here, you basically have to fight for it. This area is also a bit wider. Everything else over here for the most part is the same, but here now there's a wall. This is just to help so we can't get ganked as easily, and only junglers that can go through walls can go through here to gank you. But again, if they try to gank you over this wall, they're basically diving you, and that's different. So nobody can gank you from behind from this side of the map anymore, and nobody can gank you from behind from this side of the map. I mean, nobody could gank you from behind on this side anyway. So they just made this side the same, so nobody can flank you either. Both jungle has the access to dive you under the tower now, if they want to. What is your goal for upcoming split? Honestly, I just want to get higher in Diamond and then look for Masters. That's pretty much it. Mid lane also has changes. They have these walls here now. It's a bit thicker and it's right in front of the tower. And somebody could like look to dive you or just look through here. So you can no longer walk through here as the enemy jungle because the tower is gonna attack you. Same for the other side. So you're gonna basically have to walk through the lane and then go back down the river if you're a jungle. Or you just have to walk around. Unless that's not your side. And these bushes are way far back, so jungles like Rengar kinda got fucked because you're gonna be fighting in the middle of the lane. So it's gonna be impossible for Rengar to like come through here. But this also means that in this area-ish, if you're not walking here, it's gonna be dark. Even though you're in lane, it's gonna be mostly dark. So it's gonna make ganking mid a bit harder, but also scary as you go to face check this area. Because usually if you walk down here, you can walk back and reach tower, because the bush was like right here. But now the deeper you go, you basically have to commit and walk around, or just fight, or hop over a wall if you have dashes. But this is a way to like protect mages with no dashes, because usually mages with no dashes have more range, so they can just poke and check the bushes. But mid lane is changed, maybe for the better. Minus Emerald 2+. He came and ended today at plat 1. Nice. Are you going for Emerald tonight then? Assuming you have the time. But for bot lane, they made it easier for you to lane gank through here. And they added a tri-bush here. So now both sides of bot lane has a tri-bush. And they also have the random bush in their river. So technically, Rangar could have fun in this area, but not in the top area, or well, not in the mid lane area. I wonder if somebody, if they have control, they will place a pink here, because usually if you're on this side of the map, you place a pink ward here, but this side of the bot lane never had access to like place a bush place a pink anywhere, because there was a bush here that they would pink, but the enemy that comes from this side can just go and take this bush even if they have prior or not. It's kind of the same with like how top lane used to work when the map here was different. Somebody would pink here, and they can keep this pink protected. But the bush that we had over here, if you drop a pink here, somebody will just walk down here and take it. It's not as deep into the enemy's territory that you can't just take it. While this one, you usually are walking into the enemy's side of things, and it's harder for you to take it without the enemy trying to fight you for it. But yeah, they just tried to make things fair for bot lane. They also have a tri-bush, they also have a random bush in the middle, and now on both sides of it, you can lane gank somebody by just coming through here or waiting through here. If the enemy looking to dive, you can just walk through here and counter dive them. That also means that if you roam down here, it's a bit more telegraphed that you're about to dive them. So that kind of protects bot lane in this sense, which is true here as well, because usually you can't poke them under tower. If you're walking through here, you just have to dive them. So now it's the same for here. And then this river, they just added this big ass wall. And this bush used to always be here, but it just looks different next to the blue buff here. And now there's this bush here, because they removed the bush over here. So now there's like a big opening here. So we're gonna get used to warding in different places. We'll just have to see how things go, to be honest. If I won a game after I went back to 0 LP, oh, unlucky. Get reported. Infernal terrain changes. Pretty sure Infernal terrain is somewhat the same, but different. Infernal cinders spawn randomly on the map in small groves with higher likelihood of spawning towards the losing team. Nice. Picking up a naturally spawned Infernal Cinder grants a small burst of movement speed and grants an Infernal Cinder stack. Infernal Cinders grant 0.1 ability ace per stack. Undeads. Up to 5 cinders can be maintained, with some of the remainder being dropped underground, and the rest being destroyed. Cinders dropped from player death do not grant the burst of movement speed upon pickup. Okay. Remove. Infernal Rift will no longer destroy any walls on Rift. So the map remains the same when it's for Infernal Dragon. But now we can pick up like the fire shards, the cinders, gain movement speed as we pick them up, and gain a small stack of ability ace. That's fun. Champion changes. Way. His armor went up. Cool. Jungle adjustments. I don't really care, I'll be honest. Maybe I'll look at this some different time. Pet damage per second versus epic monsters? What do you mean pet damage per second cap versus monsters? This is new, so I guess pet champions have damage cap now? No, this is for the jungle monster itself. Okay, never mind. I was thinking like, are you thinking of like pet champions in the jungle? And then I got Copium. Hope you gotta go. Go to bed. EU times. Hey, take care. I probably have this later on uploaded on YouTube. The Pokemon, yeah. I basically said I don't care about jungle, but then I saw Pet Damn It, like, what are they talking about? And then I got baited. They're not talking about anything I care about. I'll go somewhat quickly over the new items for the mages because most of them we can't use, and this is mostly from a top lane perspective. But I will say like which champions you can probably expect to build these items now. Riftmaker is basically somewhat the same. The true damage is still there, I believe. Actually, is it? Yeah. No, the true damage is not there anymore, but it does increase your bonus damage. It increases your bonus damage by up to 10%. And at max stacks, you gained Omnivamp, and Omnivamp is now different. You will heal for the full amount for pet damage or AoE damage. So technically, like, let's say if Ivern for whatever reason builds Riftmaker or Zyra or Heimerdinger, their pets will heal them for full. But the Omnivamp they gain is only how much Omnivamp? If they're ranged, they gain 6% Omnivamp, but if they're melee, they gain 10% Omnivamp. So, in a weird world, if Yorick ever had AP ratios and we could build this, we could get 10% Omnivamp with our pets, and we will heal for 10% of the damage our pets deal. This item also gives you like 2% of your bonus health as AP, kind of like a Vladimir passive. So now this item can like increase your damage by 10%. At max stacks, you gain 10% Omnivamp. And you can heal fully from it, like from a AoE attacks, like a Mordekaiser passive or his Q. And if you have pets, you're gonna heal for the full amount as well. There's no longer a penalty on Omnivamp, which hopefully makes Conqueror for us better or even stronger, but I'm not sure about that. You can probably see this being used on Gwen, Mordekaiser, Singed, and even potentially some melee characters like Salis. Maybe Volibear will also grab this. Swain will most likely grab this as well if he wants. I don't think he needs it, but he can. Hey Yumukul, how you doing? So yeah, those type of champions you'll probably see use Riftmaker. It's basically the Gore Drinker Ravenous item for sustain mages or fighter type mages. There could be a weird case of other champions using it, but that would be odd. So you could either see this on tank APs, like maybe a Mumu Zac, because they will get a lot of HP, and the more HP they get, the more AP they get, kind of how old Demonic Embrace worked. But for the most part, you can just see Mordekaiser, Gwen, Singed use this item, along with maybe Swain, because Swain's passive, his souls, the more souls he gets, the more HP he gets, the more HP he gets, the more AP he will get. Because it skills with 2% of your bonus HP. So, yeah. Malignus, basically, if you're applying damage from your ability to somebody, will burn the ground below them. This item also gives you 20 ability haste for your ultimate. So this will lower your ultimate cooldown. Sadly, this does not work for Yorick, so we can't have fun with it. But for example, when Swain ults, everybody that Swain is hitting, under their feet, below them, they're gonna be burning with like damage. I don't think this is a percent of max HP though, but this does reduce the enemy magic resist. Basically, Hate Fog, whenever you damage an enemy champion with your ultimate, burn the ground beneath him for 3 seconds, dealing 60 plus 6% ability power. Magic damage every second, reducing the magic resist by 1 per user level for as long as they are on the burning ground. Note, radius increases based on damage done. 250 plus 2 amounts with a maximum radius of 550. So you can actually make the burning ground bigger and stronger. That's nice. So I guess the more damage you deal with this, the bigger the AoE will be. You can basically expect Swain to use this because it will always be active. you can expect Anivia to potentially use this. Fiddlesticks can use this. Basically, AP ult abusers or champions in general. Katarina could use this if she wants. I don't think she will because this has mana on it. She probably won't, but if Katarina buys this and ults, this will apply to people. Who else? I can't think about other people. Even something like Ziggs, if he ults, this will apply. So just think of it that way. The common user will probably just be Swain, Fiddlesticks. I'm not sure who else, to be honest. It depends who has good base damage and just wants to lower your magic resist to use this. Anivia has good base damage, so she's one as well. Brand as well, actually, because his ultimate will actually bounce towards multiple people. So we can see that happen. And it also depends if the enemy, if the AP user is like somebody really reliant on their ult and they want their ult very often. Rumble, yeah, like for example, Rumble can use it. So Rumble, Swain, Fiddlesticks, Anivia, she technically has her ultimate up at all times anyway, but she can proc it way more often than anybody else. So yeah. Jungle autofill time to turn to the old main. Good luck, homie. Luden's Companion. This is basically a new item for mages. It's basically Luden's Echo, but you have stacks. Gain a shot charge every 3 seconds, up to 6. And then if somebody's isolated when you hit them, I believe they take more damage. But let me read in case I'm wrong. Damaging ability, consume all charge to deal 40 plus 8% ability. Power, magic damage to the target, 1 additional nearby target per champ. If there are any insufficient targets in range, for each remaining shot, repeat the damage on the primary target, dealing 35% of the damage. So you can burst somebody if they're alone, but it will not be for the full effectiveness of the shot. But it's still effective, because you will be proccing this on a lot of people. You can basically expect Ziggs to build this, maybe Hui, Oriana. Champions like that. You will have to see, because this is basically Luden's minus the movement speed, so anybody can really spam this, I can see. Storm Surge. This one is the one where if you kill somebody, you'll basically make an explosion happen where they died. And I think it can like keep resetting if you keep killing multiple people, but I'm pretty sure it has a cooldown. Let's see, just in case. Storm Raiden dealing 35% of maximum health within... Oh, if you burst somebody. So if you deal 35% of a champion's maximum health within 3 seconds, apply Storm Surge to them, and grants the user 25 movement speed for 2 seconds. 30-second cooldown. This is like a bursty movement speed like Luden's if you used it for burst. And this also is kind of like an old rune you used to work. It's kind of cool. Passive Storm Surge. After 2 seconds, Storm Surge strikes the target with lightning, dealing 120 up to 260 based on level, plus 40% AP ratio, magic damage to them. If they die on the lightning or before the lightning strikes, it detonates immediately in a large area around them, and you gain 30 gold. So you gain gold for bursting people? That's crazy. That is actually crazy. So if you burst somebody for 35 of their health, within 3 seconds, it applies Storm Surge to them. And Storm Surge is, after 2 seconds of that happening, lightning will strike and hit them. Nice. This is basically for burst mages, so I can expect Annie to build this, Syndra to build this, Victor to build this, maybe even Ziggs, because if you can kill people with it, it can definitely happen. Even Anivia could potentially build this because she actually has a very good burst. I wouldn't be surprised to see this on whatchamacallit, Elise Eater, because this gives magic penetration. So you can definitely keep bursting people with this. And I am sad about Silumri got deleted. Yeah, you have to basically get the crit one now. X-Tech Protobalt, as far as I know, not much has changed from this item, so I'm just gonna skip it. Haunting Guys, the homie is back. Basically, for each second in combat, you deal 2% bonus damage up to 6. And this will basically build into Riftmaker and Liandry's. So it has like a similar-ish passive. So this is good for champions with base damages, or champions that want to ramp up in battle. So of course you can expect whatchamacallit, Mordekaiser to use it, Swain to use it, champions like that, or even Anivia potentially, because Anivia will probably want this, or Brands. It's over. I can't have fun with W. What do you mean? What happened? What did Spider-Axe post? What's up, by Ray Critical? Is it something wild? Hey, thanks for the subscription. Yorick change. Now replaces Aftershock with Grasp. Now replaces Glacial Augment with First Strike. What?
Kampsycho Shovel Bonk.
Shovel Bonk indeed. Thanks again for the subscription, but why would they remove that option? Like, we can proc it, even it's not ideal. I'm guessing that this was like to kill Yorick support? But why? But why? Why? Why would it just... Why was it just... Okay? I guess it's fine. Why just limit it? I mean, that's the thing though, Razor. You can do it with your W. So some people like to do it, especially those that go Yorick support for fun in normals and such. That's odd. Well, I guess back to the AP items. Accelerator, I don't care. Item's probably nice. Leandy's Torment. This is back kind of to its glory days, but it's a bit weaker. But it has the same damage stack. It stacks up to 6% bonus damage, and it will deal 2% of the enemy's max health per second for 3 seconds. So one application of this will basically deal 6% of the enemy's max HP. We can technically build this as Yorick, because our pets apply it, so they can keep applying this over and over again. So in cases where you're fighting a tank that's gonna rush a lot of armor, you can go Cleaver first to like be like, yes, I'm gonna get Cleaver to take down your armor. But then if they're stacking HP as well, like a Scion, a Cho'Gath, a Tahm Kench, or whatever else, you could build Liandry's later to just bypass their HP or their armor. This will also just increase your damage by a bonus of 6%, so it's nice. And this also gives HP again, and it doesn't give mana, so even though it may seem troll, I tried it last night, and it actually did 5k damage. So it's not bad, it's just niche, and you just need to know when you can build this and should build this. an obvious scenario is like if your team is mostly AD, or if your team cannot kill tanks and you're having to group to help kill the tanks, then you can do this. But also keep in mind that our pets can melt most monsters when they apply Liandry's. Kind of how we know Cassiopeia, Anivia, Heimer, and Zara with Liandry's, or even Brand, they can burn Baron because basically you have to burn. Same thing will apply for our pets. But we can just expect this item to be used on the usual Liandry enjoyers. Brand, Anivia, Swain, Zara, Heimer, stuff like that, Timo. It just gives a lot of HP now. This will actually make most Liandry users very tanky because a lot of really old Liandry users also like to take Rallies. So Liandry's gives 300 HP, Rallies gives 400 HP. So somebody like Zara will have now 700 bonus HP. Same with Anivia, same with Swain, same with Mordekaiser even, because Mordekaiser can now actually buy this if he wants, because it still gives HP. And I think it gives probably a little bit more. It only gives 50 more HP than a Riftmaker. So you could see a build where a Mordekaiser may go Riftmaker, Liandry's, Rallies, and then goes full tank. Or he buys them in between items. Like maybe they go Riftmaker first, then they buy a tanky item, then they get Liandry's, then they buy a tanky item, or then they just buy Rallies if they feel like they're tanky enough. So yeah. Item is nice, we can use it. It is what it is. Yeah, Rumble can use it too. And since mythics don't exist, anybody can use this whenever they want. There's no longer a limit. Horizon Focus, I don't know what happened, but Xerath and Ziggs are gonna have fun. It is what it is. Unless they change something. Deal 10% increased damage to enemies revealed by Hypershot. Okay. Hypnosis, when you deal damage to an enemy champion at 700 or greater, reveal it for 6 seconds. Cool. Passive Focus, when dealing it. When revealing an enemy with Hypershot, reveal all enemies champions within 1000 range of them for 2 seconds. Okay, so like if Xerath ults one person, he will basically reveal enemies are surrounding them for 2 seconds, which helps them snipe, I guess, better. Especially if somebody else was low. So that's interesting, I guess. Vel'Koz, Xerath, Ziggs, I don't know who else. And I don't even can think of... Well, Maiden range is like... Maiden range is 600 range behind us. So something that's a bit more far than that would be 700. There's not even that far. So even Syndra could technically apply this, but she wouldn't build it. So you can just see this with long-range poke champions. That's pretty much it. Could be that Riftmaker and Liandry's are locked in the same category. They are not locked in the same category. They can actually stack together. Because Liandry's passive damage, it's called Suffering. Haunting Guise is called Madness. And Riftmakers is called Void Corruption. So you could have Riftmaker and be building towards Liandry's, and both of them will stack. So you will have 16% bonus damage. And once you finish Liandry's, you're still going to have 16% bonus damage, but you can still get both items. So again, these two items combined can really make some AP tanks or juggernauts like Mordekaiser very strong. Most tanks that probably will want to build this will probably get one of these and not both. So yeah, I mean, there's probably some outliers, but I doubt they'll go both of them. But we never know. Arm Seeker, something to keep in mind. Stopwatch is gone, and the stopwatch rune is also gone. But now Seeker's Arm Guard is buffed, it's more expensive, and now it has the active of stopwatch. And then once you use it, it becomes Shattered Arm Guard. And then you build this into Zhonya's. So nobody can buy Zanya's anymore nobody can buy Stopwatch anymore for 750 gold. That is gone. The rune is also gone. So, bless. That's all I have to say. Bless. Crypt Bloom. This is basically a void staff item for mages that like to team fight and heal. When is upgrade live? In basically 12 hours, Momchill. How you doing, by the way? Basically 12 hours, at least for NA. For other regions, I'm not sure. So yeah. But yeah, Crypt Bloom is basically a void staff item. It gives you AP, ability ace, and 30% magic penetration. If you kill somebody, take them, an enemy within 3 seconds of damaging them, create a healing nova on their location that heals allies for 50 plus 50% AP ratio, and it has a 1-minute cooldown. So think like, if you kill somebody as Salus, you basically get a Fiora ult on the ground. So this is for AP users that don't necessarily like to get Void Staff, but sometimes they have to. This is basically to help those that want more healing and not just the penetration and AP. So you can see Swain buy this, because if Swain's already healing and he kills somebody and he makes a healing zone, this helps. You can see Salus builds this, you can see Fiddle build this, those that already have healing or need survivability because they're going to be in melee form of people basically. But you can also see supports build this, like AP supports that like to fight, not fight like poke. That if they want to bring their team some utility because they're in the support role and they also want penetration, they can also build this. So Zara could build this even though she doesn't heal. She could build this. Karma could build this if she's really fed, because it still gets penetration. If you kill somebody, you're gonna heal them now. You can see Zara support build this, even though I doubt they would build this, but you never know. I really doubt he would build this, but you know. If his team is like a bunch of melees, that means if he snipes somebody from far away in the middle of the team fight, he can make a Fiora ult zone for them to heal in. So that's something. But you can mostly expect this on Fiddlesticks, Swain, Salus, maybe Diana. Even Mordekaiser can technically buy this, because if he kills somebody, he's going to get an AoE heal area. Gwen can buy this. This will basically be like an equivalent of Death's Dance, but the Fiora ult thing on the ground instead. Because when you kill somebody with Death's Dance, you will heal a lot. So this is the same, but for your team. If you want penetration and sustain, pause. You basically get this item. Or if you're support and you want to help people out, you also get this item. This is probably better for all AP supports, to be honest. I see no reason for AP supports to build Void Staff over this, realistically, because you're technically supporting. Unless you're a really weird one like Zerat. But yeah, that's what Crypt Bloom is. Maybe even Singe can build this, because he probably won't take much use of the healing zone because he's running, but again, he can build it. Something. Shadow Flame. It basically has magic penetration, and it has a new passive, Cinder Bloom. Magic and true damage critically strikes enemies below 35 health. So when somebody's low, your magic damage and true damage critically strikes enemies, dealing 20 increased damage, increased to 35 increased damage for damage over time, and pet effects. So you can see Annie building this for pet effects specifically, or you can see Zara building this as well. And I'm pretty sure it's saying true damage critically strikes. Maybe for, I don't remember, but this doesn't have true damage anymore. Right? Riftmaker doesn't have true damage anymore, right? Pretty sure it doesn't. It doesn't have true damage anymore. I'm guessing since you have magic penetration, if you have enough pen, you will probably start dealing true damage. It's my guess. Cho'Gath with this OP? See, potentially. Like, if a Cho'Gath ults and you're below 35 health, it could kill you, but I'm pretty sure a Cho'Gath ult would kill you at that point anyway, but hey, it still works. But yeah, you can see this on burst mages, especially those that want to execute you. So Syndra will build this every single time. I'm pretty sure Diana will probably build this every single time as well. You can probably see Diana build this and Surge because of the burst potential, along with Rocket Belt because dashes. So yeah. Amplifying Tome, 400 gold, Bless, Blasting Wand. What? Oh, you can build Amplifying Tome into Blasting Wand, right? I think that's what they meant. I'm pretty sure I saw that on PB. Because I'm pretty sure you can, I have to recheck. I have to check. But I tried to get on PB and PB was lagging, so I'm not on there. But yeah, the patch is basically tomorrow in like 12 hours. Pretty sure. Well, no, not 12 hours actually. In 15 hours. No, not 15. In 17 hours. 17 hours. I think it is a type, but I'm pretty sure I saw on PBE that you can build Amplifying Tome into Blasting Wand. I'm pretty sure. But regardless, this seems like a typo, but Blasting Wand's AP is going up. Meh. More AP for Nearly Large Rod. Zyna's gold seems to be going up. Everything else unchanged, but it's losing ability haste and it has more armor. And more ability power as well, actually. And Veil, more AP, more magic resist, more gold, no ability haste, blocks ability. Verdant barrier, more AP, more magic resist, costs more gold. And this basically builds into Banshee's Veil. Okay. Archangel, more AP, more abilities, more mana. I'm pretty sure that's the same. Gain ability power equal to 1 bonus health. And then you basically get a shield for activating this. And then it transforms. Okay. Seraph's health is gone. Mana is 1000. AP is up. And ability haste is up. Upon taking damage or reduce shield below health, gain a shield for 30 seconds. So it no longer has an active. You can the shield will just pop by default. Was that always the case? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure people activated this on their own as an active. But now this item works like Maw. When you're below 30% health, you basically get a shield. Cool, I guess. Heard Yeti is pretty cray. Yeah, it will be. Ravnon's that cap. Price unchanged. HP is higher. Not HP. AP is higher. The ability power increase is lowered by 5. Okay. Voice staff cost up. Bless. AP up. Whatever. Magic penetration still the same. Yeah. Rod of Ages. HP down, mana down. AP down as well. Cost is down as well though. By 200. Okay. This item gives 20 health, 20 mana for ability water every 6 seconds, up to 10 times. For maximum 20 health, 20 mana for ability power. Upon reaching max house, gain a level. Passive eternal restore mana equal to 7 primitive damage from that. I'm guessing they just want you to get this item sooner now. So they made it weaker, but old Rod of Ages users can probably buy this when they want to. So maybe scaling characters will just buy this by default.
Work to return it.
Swain could buy it because he likes HP. Anivia could buy it. Some tanks could buy this if they want to because it's pretty cheap. I keep forgetting some specific old Rod of Ages users, but yeah. It's just cheaper. Seems everything else is mostly the same. Thanks for the follow, by the way. MC Frankie Egg. Kick W. Catalyst, don't care. Lichbane. New Spellblade now grants 50% attack speed while available. Hey, that's cool. So if you... Damn. So if you apply the Sheen proc, you're gonna get 50% attack speed. Why would you buy Nashers then? So I guess like Diana can apply this and have attack speed, so maybe she won't go Nashers. Maybe even Victor. Well, not Victor. Maybe even Oriana, because I know she has an auto attack passive. Azir may enjoy it just because the attack speed. But this cost is up and Nashor's cost is down. The attack speed is unchanged. It's still 50%. The AP is down to 90. This is ability power is up higher. Spellblade now grants 50% attack speed while available. So I'm guessing as long as you have, let's say you press Q as Azir, as long as you don't auto attack somebody, you'll have 50% attack speed. I'm guessing so you apply it faster. Okay. I get it. So you can really auto reset with an ability with the new Lich Bane. So you would still need Nashers if you're somebody like Diana or just you want attack speed. That's interesting. Okay. Morello's penetration gone, HP gone, ability ace added, gold down by a lot, and ability power is unchanged. Okay. Fighter items, bless. I thought I went through that faster, but it actually took a while. They actually changed a lot of things from when I read it on PB. Vitality is now 1-to-1. Flat armor pen instead of scaling a level. Yeah, it does help us spike earlier. It also helps normal assassin spike earlier. But yeah, Hullbreaker, it's weaker now. Probably for the best. Goal is the same, builds out a Tunneler and Rectrix. Rectrix is like an 80 item that gives you AD and movement speed, and Tunneler gives you AD and HP. It's pretty much it. 65 attack damage, 350 health, 5% movement speed. Every fifth basic attack against champions, epic monsters deals 140 melee or 70 for range based AD plus 3% of your maximum health as bonus physical damage, increased to 400 or 400 for melee or 200 for range, plus 7% maximum health, bonus physical damage against towers. So this is why Hullbreaker is now weaker. It's attack speed based or on hit based. So we can build Triforce to have attack speed, but every fifth hit against the tower will deal more damage. So this is actually stronger now on most other split pushers, because most other split pushers outside of Nasus actually have more attack speed than we do. So think of Trundle. He just activates W and uses his Q as an auto reset. He's gonna melt towers with Hullbreaker. Tryndamere, he just has faster attack speed and builds attack speed items. He can use Hullbreaker stronger than us. Fiora with her Q and her E. Jax, Aurelia, champions like that. We can still use it, but Hullbreaker lost its defenses, so it's still gonna give ally siege and super minions the resistance 20 to 130. Apparently 10 to 68 for range. So it's still gonna give the minions a lot of resistance, but the minions also lost the bonus damage. So now only us have the bonus damage to towers, but it's every fifth hit. So no resistance and no more damage buff to cannons. But we can apply the damage every fifth hit. So if we have time, we will still deal a lot of damage. On top of this, also the ratio of it has a base AD one. Yorick has good base AD. it kind of works like Sheen-ish. So maybe if you go Grasp as you're gaining more HP trading with somebody in lane, you can deal more damage to towers. But also keep in mind that you can use this against enemy champions and jungle monsters. So there's a world where you can just build Hullbreaker in lane because you can actually use it to fight. So that works. And if the enemy is somebody that likes to roam, or they're likely to TP away, or you can bully them by default, like you hard counter them, then you can just buy Hullbreaker and just melt their tower. It's probably for the best because I hated fighting Yone with fucking Hullbreaker. So yeah. Trundle will be a split god, exactly. Hull is less defensive. Yep. Turn into an unhit item. The resistance for the cannon still will enable ghouls to deal damage. True. If we play around that. Yeah. So if you push with Hullbreaker, it's a bit stronger. Hull plus harsh steel time, potentially. Plus demolish. Yeah. I just hate fighting Yone. I think we all hate fighting Yone, bro. Definitely think we all hate fighting Yone. But 1 second, be right back. I need to go get water. I've been talking for a while. You guys can read. Alright, I'm back. Got my water. You probe any Yone, maybe like that. If I had a second mode, it will be Yone, Aurelia, still Aurelia. Sure. Had too many bad matchups for Yorick at this point. Extra bounce help. I thought about that last year, I'm not gonna lie. My second ban will just be Yone. I'm not gonna lie to you. Bork! I don't know what changed. Maybe the passive. Attack supply, 12% of the enemy's current health, physical damage on hit. That's fucking annoying. Clawing Shadows, your first attack as an enemy champion slows them by 30% for 1 second. Okay, 15-second cooldown. So you don't steal the enemy's movement speed anymore, you just slow them for 1 second the first time you hit them. Okay, I guess I still hate this item. Mostly because everybody that builds it, I hate them at the same time. Yone can build it, Yasuo can use it, some Fioras build it, Jax build it. Aurelia builds it. Luckily, we keep her banned, so we don't have to worry about it. But Phage has been reverted. Same gold cost, But now when you attack somebody, you gain movement speed instead. So we can no longer use this item for a way to sustain in line. It kind of sucks, but this is how the old phase always worked. It basically just gives you movement speed on attacking. Now phage will also build into Black Cleaver and Triforce. But you can still combine Black Cleaver and Triforce together because Triforce at movement speed passive is called Quicken, and Black Cleaver's movement speed passive is called Rage. So you can still combine them together, but we no longer have this sustain with us. RIP. I guess nobody else does either. Eclipse no longer does lethality, but it still gives you 70 attack damage, which is very high. The only other item I think gives 70 attack damage is like Ravenous Hydra. The closest one is probably Infinity Edge with 75, but we don't build that anyway. Passive, Ever Rising Moon. Hitting a champion with 2 sharpened attacks, damage within 1.5 seconds, deals 8% of max health bonus physical damage. Okay, so it still has the percent of max HP damage. Nice. And grants you 140 base damage. It grants you the shield for 2 seconds, but it doesn't grant you the movement speed anymore. No. So we still get the shield, we still get the percent max HP damage, but we don't get the movement speed. Okay. So we could technically still use this as a way to shred tanks with the combination of getting Cleaver first into Eclipse, but no more movement speed, but it still gives us the shield, so that's still nice. So if you wanted to build lethality, but not really lethality, this is what I would do. Is you get Cleaver first for some HP, and then you get Eclipse. Maybe you can just get Eclipse first if you like, but it doesn't give you lethality anymore. It just only gives you attack damage. Still not bad though. The cost is also still cheap. Relatively cheap. Spirit of Sojourn. From what I remember, Jax can no longer use this as an Earth Stick and lower his abilities. It still gives that passive, but still. 55 attack damage, 500 HP, 20 ability haste, and your non-ultimate spells gain 15 ability haste. But now passive, spells, hits, grant stacks. Your spells deal 3% increased damage for each stack. And apparently since it works off spell hits, our Q can apply this, our E can apply this, but sadly our pets cannot apply this, but your spells, our pets still count as our spells, so we can increase our ghoul damage by 3% per stack. And I believe you can stack this 5 times? I'm not sure. 5 or 4 times. So up to 12% or 15%. But this is specifically for your spells. But since it's spell based, you can expect Riven to build this. You can expect Renekton to build this. Maybe even Jax, just because his E will deal a lot of damage. Maybe Fiora will build it anyway. Technically Camille can build this and make her Q deal more true damage. Kled can build this, potentially. Who else? Maybe even Set, if it increases his W damage, or just because he's ability haste heavy and he doesn't have mana. So pretty much most manaless champions that are spell based and not heavily on auto attacks can build this item. And also likely build this. So again, Riven, Renekton, Kled type of item. And Jarvan probably as well. Hecarim probably build this because his Q can already stack and increase his damage, so now this will increase their damage as well for their spells. It's gonna be interesting. There's probably a lot of other champions I'm not thinking about because I'm thinking of top lane champions and not junglers. But I was trying to think of champions that already were using this before this change. Not too bad. Ravenous Hydra, yeah, 70 attack damage, same as Eclipse. but are very expensive. You can't see me building this shit. This shit is expensive, bro. But it does give us 10% lifesteal, and now Hydra items has the active back, so you can activate this whenever you want in the middle of a combo. Active Ravenous Crescent. Deal 100% total attack damage, physical damage to nearby enemies within 450 units. This damage applies lifesteal, so you will heal for the damage this does. So you can expect Riven to build this, Renekton to build this. I don't think Hecarim would build this, but hey, you never know. For somebody else, I was gonna say Kled can build this. Basically, the same people I said that will build Shojin, they'll probably build Ravenous, especially if they like lifesteal as well. So yeah. What's your question, Sticky? And what's up? I do got water, so I'm hydrating. Titanic Hydra. Its attack damage seems to be lower. HP probably a bit lower. I don't know why its cost is still this expensive, but I'm assuming its passive and active got increased in some way. Physical attack deal 1.5 maximum health, something for range, on hit to your target, and 3% maximum health to other enemies in a cone. Cleaves damage also applies to structures. Interesting. Active on your next attack, you will deal 6% maximum health bonus damage to your target, and 9 for bonus, 9 for the shockwave behind. Okay. Alright, not bad there. Just talking to them, butter. It doesn't give HP per HP. Why did I bully it? Yeah, it doesn't give that anymore, actually. Sadness. Yeah. I guess Titanic is weaker. Yes, take it the patches out. Did I mean to ask a question? Report it. Yeah, the patch notes are out specifically. Boop. Well, I guess if you're buying a lot of HP, you can make use of the bonus, but I want to actually check the difference between it. Hydra. Let me see what the current one is. Titanic Hydra. Unique, gain bonus attack damage equal to 2% bonus health. Yeah, that's gone. Basic attacks deal 1.5, 3.5 to other enemies. And this one says it doesn't have the giving you bonus attack damage for bonus HP, but it's still 1.5 and 3 to other units or other enemies, but the active now makes it as strong, or makes it stronger. Now it starts at 6 when you activate it, and then it deals 9 for the shockwave. So I'm guessing the active took most of this buffs. I guess this is somewhat of a nerf for HP stackers that like to build this like a Scion. I mean, I didn't build this often, so I don't know how to feel about it, but it's definitely a bit nerfed now. I guess most of its power will just be in the active. Hey, it does have whatchamacallit abilities now. Interesting. Is this stats the same? No, it had 500 HP and 30 attack damage still, but now it still has 30 attack damage. Did its cost go up? 335, and its cost is so they made it cost 50 more gold, but they lowered its HP and just gave it ability haste, and I guess the active is stronger. I got water and my posture's fine. Report it. Well, all right then. Tiamat has a new recipe, basically long swords, 2 of them plus 500 gold. So it's a bit easier to build it. I don't know if we will build it, but we will have to see. Maybe we do enjoy Ravenous as a way to have sustain, since Divine is gone, and a lot of top laners will be building Ravenous. And if we don't build Ravenous, we need to have anti-heal. But an alternative is just building Ravenous ourselves as well to compete with their sustain. So maybe we do that instead. I would have to see though. I would definitely have to see. But now we can activate Tiamat to help wave clear, so that's cool. Heartborn Axe, pretty sure not much has changed. But it doesn't have the movement speed on hit anymore. When you attack something, you don't gain movement speed, because that is now onto Phage instead. And for Stridebreaker, you can activate it as you're moving, so it doesn't stop you. So Garen can be spinning and activate this and not stop moving. Same with Darius, same with Set, even Hecarim. So that's kind of strong. The thing is also you gain more movement speed per enemy hit. Slow nearby enemies by 30% and gain 30% bonus movement speed per champion hit that decays over 3 seconds. So yeah. Hecarim will definitely build this due to his passive. The more movement speed he has, the more attack damage he has. He's going to run into multiple people, gaining more movement speed per enemy's hit, and then increases AD. And see, can move while casting with a 15-second cooldown. Passive, dealing physical damage, grants bonus movement speed for 2 seconds. Ooh. Oh, this is one thing I forgot to check actually. Because this says deal physical damage grants you movement speed for 2 seconds. This is what Black Cleaver used to do in the past. And basically in the past, if you sent some ghouls top and they were dealing physical damage, no matter where you are on the map, Yorick gained 20% movement speed just because his pets were attacking something. So you were basically running very fast just because you had Black Cleaver active at all times. And Yorick was actually way more faster back then just because of that. So there is a world where maybe we do build Stridebreaker just because of this specifically. I don't know if we will, but if it works like that, I gotta test it. But if it does work like that, then yes, for sure. But again, I can't go on the PB. I tried going on the PB and it just wasn't happening. Barret Maker for sustain for Prumpets. True. Experimental Hexplate, 3000 gold, based on a Tunneler and Noon Quiver, so attack speed and HP and AD items. 55 attack damage, 20% attack speed, and 300 health. Passive, gain 30 ultimate ability haste. I'm gonna hate this item with a fucking passion. And you're gonna hate it too. Passive, after casting your ultimate, gain 35 attack speed and 50% movement speed for 7 seconds. Think Jax ulting and gaining movement speed and attack speed. Same with Tryndamere, Fiora, and Trundle. Even Yone. Fuck me, bro. I don't know if they will build this, or even Irelia. She's always banned. I don't want to think about her. But just Tryndamere, because remember, those champions are also ultimate haste based. Like the lower their ultimate cooldown, the better for them. So Trundle can 100% build this and have his ultimate be lower. Jax can build this and have his ultimate be lower. Tryndamere can build this, basically have the same thing happen. I don't know if they will catch on to it or if it'll be sleeper. But yeah. There's probably some AD carries that will also build this if they want. I don't know if they will because it doesn't have crit. But if they are on hits, like Vayne could build it technically. Twitch could build it technically, even though he doesn't need it. He has range. We will have to see, but there's definitely some outliers out there that can probably. Nocturne can get this. Like if Nocturne ults, yo, fuck, Nocturne's gonna ult. I mean, the thing is, the attack speed and movement speed for 7 seconds, so he's gonna ult, look for you in the first 2 seconds, latch on, and he still has 5 seconds of bonus movement speed and attack speed. Nah. I may have to cut that out of the video. I'm not gonna hold you. That sounds crazy. Seth can actually build this if he likes to go Bork or on hit set for fun. He ults you and then he's just punching you very fast. Volley? Maybe, but Volibear usually doesn't build 80 items like this one. Yeah, this item has a lot of users that I'm probably not even thinking about at the moment. Varus could technically build this. He ults you and then he attacks you, but he probably doesn't need it. But again, it's just like, I'm thinking of attack speed enjoyers and ultimate haste enjoyers. It depends. It really depends, but that's cool. Kindred can, well, Kindred that doesn't need it actually. It's stupid. I just thought of somebody that enjoys attack speed and I said it. Not Kindred, not her. But hey, interesting. Yorick, true. But the thing is, when Yorick ults, he already suppresses you for like 2.5 seconds, I think. And his ultimate doesn't scale with attack speed, so that's kind of useless. The attack speed afterwards and the movement speed afterwards is nice, though. So maybe they can still build it if they like. Oh, Master Yi. I can't believe I didn't think about him. Yeah, this item is going to be bussin'. Some characters will not be kiteable. Let's move on before we start fucking crying. Sundered Sky. 55 attack damage, 200 HP, ability haste. This out of Tunnel and Hammer. Passive Light Shield Strike. The first attacks against an enemy champion will critically strike and heal for 140 base AD, plus 6% of your missing health. So it's like a Sheen proc that will crit and heal you for your missing HP. This can actually be usable on Yorick if you go a specific build that I will show you later. That basically gives you a lot of base AD item. Like a lot of items that have this specifically. Base AD. I can actually show you right now. This build. Basically, if you get Triforce, it has the base AD with the Sheen proc. Hullbreaker has it on the 5 hits. Sterak's has it, and it's also gonna increase your base AD and give you more AD. And Sundered Sky has it as well. So you can technically build all these 5 items because Dead Man's Plate also has that. We didn't get to it yet, but it also has it. So all these 5 items you see in the row of Hullbreaker, I forgot I didn't change this part. You can basically build all these 5 items and have 140 base AD damage at some point. With Triforce, whenever you apply ability with the Sheen proc. With Hullbreaker, every 5th hits. Sterak just works with them. And on your first hit with Sundered Sky. And with Dead Man's Plate at max stacks. So yeah. I'll go over the other builds later at the end. Yeah, this is Tunneler. Longsword and HP. 250. 1100. Steel Sigil, this builds into GA. This is like AD and armor. This builds into That's Dance and GA only. And Wit's End, gold down, attack speed up, magic resist up, attack damage gone. Tenacity. Ooh. So Master, you can build this because it gives you magic resist and tenacity. This is nice. I don't know if we would build it, but it's still nice. I remember a similar item giving attack speed and tenacity. It's interesting that they brought it back. That's cool. Triforce. Cost is unchanged. Build is different now. Sheen, Phage, and then Heartborn Axe. AD is up. Attack speed and ability haste is unchanged. That part of it is a buff, but the Sheen proc, of course, is the same. 200 base physical damage. But this is... They say it's new, but it's basically the same movement speed we used to gain on auto attacks. But this one is called Quicken, as in Black Cleaver is right down here. Black Cleaver's got Rage. Attacking a unit grants 20% 20 movement speed for 2 seconds, and it is the same for Triforce. So you could build these two together. Black Cleaver. Cost is down, so that's nice. There's a lot of Phage now. So I guess you can build Phage with Sheen and maybe you go in between these two items, depending who you're fighting. Would have to see, but I doubt it. I would probably have to choose between these two items because I don't think I will build Triforce and Black Cleaver together at all times anymore. Because we lost, or technically I lost Grudge. So we would have to see how things move on from that. But Black Cleaver's attack damage is up, HP is not changed, but its ability is down. And now it reduces less armor. So it used to reduce 30% of the enemy's armor, now it just reduced 24% of the enemy's armor. There's also a note that is not here that says you cannot have 2 armor pen items. So you cannot buy Black Cleaver and Grudge together. So you have to choose between Black Cleaver or Grudge, which I guess is fair. And Grudge is very chained as well. Sterak's Gauge, 3000 gold on change. Pickaxe, Phage again? Oh. Wait, no. Now it's Pickaxe with Tunneler instead. HP is down. Ooh, Sterak's also gives us tenacity now? Less. Passive gain bonus attack damage equal to 50% base attack damage unchanged. Oh, what did I read that then? Let's see if they changed something about the passive. Upon taking damage that will reduce you below 30% health, gain 80% bonus shield. That's nice. Decaying over 4.5 seconds. That's really nice. So it's longer now, right? I think. Gain 25 size increase and additional 30 tenacity for 8 seconds. Oh no, that's changed. I'm stupid. I'm reading the old one. Upon taking damage, gain the 80% bonus shield health, decaying over 4 seconds, and gain 10% size for 8 seconds. So less size, same shield, but now we have the 20% tenacity at all times, and it has less health, but the cost is unchanged. Okay, that's cool. So 60 movement speed per auto, pretty much. Well, actually 40. No, this one gives 20. This also gives 20. And and Triforce lost his movement speed passive. It doesn't have 5% movement speed anymore. So technically 40. But I guess if you build Stridebreaker with it, you would have 60 movement speed per auto attack. Oh, with Stridebreaker? Oh, I didn't see your first message. Sure. I do want to test that out later though. If our pets can apply this at all times, maybe I'll build this against some characters I want to kite, like Tryndamere. That's crazy. Oof, my new favorite item. Not gonna lie to you. Hollow Radiance. Spammy Cinder plus Spectral Cowl. 2800 gold, pretty cheap. 600 HP is a lot. 40 magic resist, kind of low, but it has a lot of HP. And base HP regen. Passive, emulate, taking damage to you. This is basically the Sunfire Cape passive, but it's a bit weaker. But this is what makes this stronger. Desolate, killing an enemy, non-ward or structure. Deals 20 plus 3.5 bonus health magic damage in an area around them. Why is this important specifically? This is important specifically because our pets can apply this. So, if you can, if you release Maiden, your pets will actually apply this. I'm pretty sure I have a video of this, so I can technically show you. Let me think of something. 1 second. Let me see if I can find that video. Or something to show you it. 1 second. Just so I can show you what it does for those that don't know. Damage for another 40, actually. Yes. Because I streamed yesterday with Hollow Radiance. So I wanna see if I can see a clip of it when I bought it. Not a clip specifically, but just a moment of it. Yes, I found it. Alright, look. This may look a bit scuffed, but it is what it is. Basically. Give me a second. Our pets can apply this item. It's the purple buff you see there. Did I already show it? No, okay. See? That thing you see applying over and over again? That's from Hollow Radiant. So basically, if you buy this item and you release Maiden or you just have pets in an area, it can count as wave clear. The moment they kill it, it will proc and make a chain reaction. And each time a ghoul or Maiden kills something, it will keep proccing and just basically give our pets wave clear. As long as they last hit. So yeah. That is cool. And that's why I like that item. So if you, since Hullbreaker doesn't give us magic resist or free armor anymore, if you need magic resist, you can just buy this item. You just have to keep in mind that it is a Sunfire item, so if somebody comes too close to you, the tower will attack you. But it makes pushing with Maiden very, very strong. I also have a video about it, so I can probably show you that later, or you can look that up. Unending Despair. Another armor item, 400 HP, 50 armor. Passive, while in combat with enemy champions, every 7 seconds, deal 3 up to 50, plus 3% bonus health, magic damage to nearby enemy champions within 600 units. Healing for 250 of the damage dealt. Honestly, I built this item a few times, and its healing actually went up by a lot, even though I wasn't grouping that much. Because it actually increases the damage. The damage it deals by itself, like the 30 plus 2% of your bonus health, isn't a lot, but it's gonna heal you for 250 of that. So more than double of this damage is gonna heal you for. Now it only happens every 7 seconds, but if you can live that long or you need sustain and armor, maybe there's a case where you do this if you're going tank Yorick or anything. Outside of that, you can probably see most tanks building this, that if they want sustain against somebody or in a team fight, maybe Zac can probably build this so he can have some more healing. Maokai can build this, maybe Singed. People that can live long or run away and live longer. But yeah, new armor item. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I'll try to build it in some cases and see how it works. Or how decent it is. Kyanika Rooker, 2900, 400 HP, 80 magic resist. That's just beautiful right there. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is basically the item that gives the most magic resist up front. But what makes this item still like probably the strongest magic resist item is that not that it gives you HP regen, but it gives you an AP magic shield for 20% of your max HP. So if the enemy is heavily building AP, or they're like a full AP team, or all the threats are AP, you can just buy this item for 80 magic resists and get a shield based off 20% of your max HP for a magic shield. So think like Morgana shield minus the blocking CC, or Galio passive but 20% of your max HP, or Camille's auto attack passive if it goes the magic route. I don't know if we would build this in specific matchups because we still have Hollow Radiance, but if they have a lot of AP and we, for whatever reason, need 2 magic resist item, or we don't need Hollow and we just grab this one instead, it should be very strong. I don't know who would build this by default. Maybe Galio builds this by default just to counter Mage's harder mid, but I doubt it because it doesn't give AP. So maybe Galio will actually just build Hollow Radiance instead, since it does apply more wave clear when it kills a unit, if he needs it, and this still just deals magic damage to people around you. Would have to see. But it's a fun item if you actually need it to block a lot of AP threats. I'm honestly surprised Heart still stayed in the game. But it's still here. 800 HP, 200 base health regen. And it basically has the same thing. You can stack your HP off people. Charge up a powerful attack against a champion over 3 seconds while within 700 range of them. The charge attack deals 100 plus 10% health from items, bonus physical damage, and grants you 12% of that value as permanent health. 30-second cooldown per target. And it has a passive for each 100 maximum health, gain 3% increased size, up to 30%. So Sound can build this every game now because it isn't a mythic anymore. Cho'Gath can build this every game because it isn't a mythic anymore. Potentially Zac can build this if he wants to. I doubt it. Seth can build this every game too now because of his W having a big HP ratio. There may be a case where maybe we could build it at some point. I don't know if we will. But since Hullbreaker now has an HP ratio on it, maybe in a tough matchup, if the enemy is not somebody that would build pork or doesn't have ways to kill high HP targets, we could build this, since the more HP we have, Hullbreaker deals more damage and Demolish deals more damage as well. And I guess if you have Hollow Radiance, that also has an HP ratio on it. Excuse me. With Yasuo, you get an MR shield based on HP. Yep. R3 MR shields. Yep. So if you get Heartsteel, and then this gives you 20%, it gives you a magic shield for 20% of your maximum HP, not even bonus. you can basically lock out an AP threat very easily. Heartsteel, Hullbreaker, Titanic, Hollow Radiance, pretty much, and you can get a Steraks as well. Technically, because the more HP you have, the bigger the Sterak shield will be in the end. So there's a lot of ways to technically build like a tanky bruiser Yorick. It just, you have to figure out the order of how you buy them. 10 HP Yorick, man. Actually, because you can build Heartsteel in lane, and one thing I figured out when I built Heartsteel, even though it felt horrible at the time, is that sometimes all you need is to have more HP because you're unable to stop damage, tank damage, or heal back the damage you've taken. So against some characters, just because I had like 500 more HP because I was building a Giant's Belt, a Kindle Gem, and a... what the fuck is that item called? Crystalline Bracer. The enemy just couldn't kill me because I had too much HP at the time. So even though I didn't have damage to kill them, if we continue fighting, I could actually get them to leave lane. So I wouldn't say it's going to be valuable on Yorick, but in specific situations, maybe we do buy this. I don't know against who, because Fiora would have true damage. Jax's E has percent max HP damage and magic damage. But against Tryndamere that doesn't like to build Bork, even though we can, this could be a case where if we have enough HP, he just can't dive us yet. Maybe even against Renekton, even though he can build Bork. It's just interesting. Definitely interesting, especially if we paired this item with Titanic, Steraks, and Hullbreaker that all have an HP ratio on them now. Technically, Titanic, Steraks already have one, but Hullbreaker never had an HP ratio, but now it does. And we also have Hollow Radiance that also has an HP ratio on it, so we could make use of that. It could be fun, especially if we go Grasp Yorick. But yeah, we would have to see. It definitely looks interesting. And Trailblazer. This is basically Deadman's Plate, but for support. 5% movement speed, 20 HP, 40 armor. Passive, lead the way while moving, build up to 20% 20 movement speed, not percent. At max staff, leave a trill that raises allied champion movement speed by 50% of your movement speed. Your next attack discharges built up movement speed for melee champions at top speed. The next attack also slows the target by 50% for 1 second. So this basically has the old-ish passive of Deadman's Plate, where you stack it up and then when you auto attack, you're gonna slow the enemy. But it also leaves the trail, like the red trail. I don't know what color this one's trail is, but it gives your allies movement speed. So think of this like a iron elixir, where if somebody walks behind you, they gain movement speed. Or think of it like a Kled ult, that whoever's following you into battle or into a fight will basically have a lot more movement speed. So this is basically for engaged supports that will basically run in, and you need movement speed to follow up with them. A weird thing is that potentially you could see, I doubt it, again, I doubt this, but you could see Hecarim build this just because if he's running in and he's going tank Hecarim, he's too fast, but now he can grant his team movement speed because your team will gain 15% of your movement speed. So at this point, it doesn't matter how fast you are, your team will also be faster for following you. I'm just thinking, oh, Rammus can build this since Deadman's Plate. I don't know if it already showed up. I'm pretty sure it did. Let me check. Oh, we didn't go over Deadman's Plate yet. Let me show you Deadman's Plate then. Deadman's Plate. Deadman's Plate now basically deals the 100 base AD damage, physical damage. Basically the same thing Hullbreaker has now. Deadman's Plate has it as well. And the thing is, Deadman's Plate, it doesn't apply the slow anymore. So it only deals the damage. The thing that's special about Dead Man's Blade now is that it gives you the 30% slow reduction. So you can't get slowed anymore easily. So this is like a swifty. You know how when you buy swift boots, you can't get slowed as easily. Dead Man's Blade is the same. The only difference is I'm pretty sure now it gives you less movement speed, but I'm not sure about that. I would have to check on the. I would have to check on the wiki. What the fuck did that man play build into? Ruby crystal. Where's the pants? There's the pants. Then that man's plate. Granting 40% movement speed. Yeah, no, the movement speed is the same. For some reason, it just felt slower yesterday when I built this item. But yeah, at max stacks, the slowest removed, you gain 4% movement speed, and your next attacks built up movement speed to deal bonus fatal damage. One thing I realized that you can keep applying this as you're fighting somebody and chasing them down. Like, you know, like sometimes when you're fighting somebody, you eat them, you auto attack Q, and maybe you kite away. Even if you gain like 10 stacks of Dead Man's Plate, your next auto attack will consume the charge, and that will make your auto attack be stronger. An example is like if you're attacking an enemy for 300 damage, and you walk a little bit and then auto attack them, your next auto attack will deal 310 damage, for example. And then at max stacks, maybe it goes up to 450. So the more you attack, move, or you auto and walk away and come back in, back and forth, the more damage you're going to deal as well. So that's kind of cool with this item now. And you can't get slowed anymore, so if the enemy has a lot of slows, you can buy Dead Man's Blade. I love it here. But yeah, this will probably be better on supports or engage tanks like Rammus, so people can follow up. Especially since this now has a focus on AD, and Rammus would not care about that as much. That HP could mean that Kong stacks up and Ghoul do more damage. Ooh. Actually, yeah. We have more time then. Let's see if they change anything about Zeke's. Unfortunately, got Shimon, get an ice stone for 5 seconds, deals 50 damage. I'm guessing not much change here. Maybe it's got a small buff. Remove. Passively grant allies, armor, and magic resist. That is gone. Active devotion, my bad, not demotion. Grant nearby allies the shield, decaying for 2 plus 5 seconds. Ability haste down, armor magic is the same. I can't tell what they changed about this. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. Maybe just an adjustment. Ability haste removed from Warmogs, and now it has some movement speed. At least now it builds out of Wing Moon Plate. Basically the fucking pants that I just looked up to find Dead Man's Plate. Its cost is also up, which is kind of bad because Warmog that doesn't get bought already. I don't like that they increased its gold cost just because they're giving it movement speed now. Let's see if something changed about the passive. It used to be like this. If you have at least 1100 HP, restore health per second. If damage has been taken within 6 seconds, 3 seconds for non-champions. And I guess you start to regen. Now is if you have at least 1300 bonus HP, so the threshold is higher, restore health per second and gain 10% movement speed if damage hasn't been taken within 6 seconds. 3 second cooldown for non-champions. Oh. So now you restore health per second the same, but you also gain an extra 10% movement speed if you haven't taken damage yet. I guess somebody that really likes HP and to engage. I can't think of anybody on the top of my head. I could think of Rammus. Like, if Rammus just goes Thornmail, Warmogs, Trailblazer, maybe. Because Rammus has the problem where he has a lot of resistance, but he has no HP. So we could do that build, potentially. I'm not sure. Sejuani, potentially. The HP is also down, which is like, how dare Warmogs not give the most HP out of every single item? Because it gives 750 HP now, but Heartsteel gives 800 HP. I thought Warmog was supposed to be the HP item. I'm guessing Heartsteel replaces it because you can technically keep stacking it up. So maybe they're changing Warmogs into regen and movement speed, which is weird, but I didn't like that it increased its costs and the threshold at the same time. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm guessing the normal Warmogs enjoyers would build it anyway. But we would have to see. Not something we would build as Yorick anyway. What are you yapping about? It perma gives 5%? What do you mean? No, like, I mean, it does give perma 5%, but they added that it also gives 10% while you're regenning. So you could use it to engage, technically. So you technically have 15% movement speed while you're regenning. I just don't know how strong that will be, and which Warmog enjoyer was wanting this. Technically Garen, but I don't know. Still weird. Oh, not me. Or Jack Show. This is technically now a really good item. Most tanks will probably build this all the time if they don't need a specific resistance instead. Its HP is down, its armor is up, and its magic resist is up, so Jack Show gives 50 armor and magic resist. His ability is gone, but now for each second in combat, gain a stack up to maximum of 5 stacks, and maximum stacks become empowered, increasing your bonus resist by 30% until end of combat. So Rammus can definitely build this because he can increase his bonus resistance with his W. Shyvana can build this because of her passive. I don't know if she will. Cassandra can build this because he basically likes having a lot of resistance to convert into AD and have damage reduction on his W. And outside of classic tanks, Ornn can also build this because he has an armor and magic resist ratio on his E. So this item is strong. There's even a possibility where if we don't need anything else, we could just buy this item as our only resistance item and just go full damage of whatever we want. Perma 5 moves seem strong. Probably. War Mommy? Keck fucking W. I don't think we would ever build it, no, because we're technically always in combat with our pets. But yeah, Jack Show is nice. If we don't, but it's probably only good if we're actively wanting to be a tank in a game, or if we're, I don't know. It's not a bad item, but of course it's not for Yorick, but I can see most tanks just building this by default. Probably not first item though. Most tanks will probably build this second or third if they want it. Deadman's Play, we technically already went over it, but the cost is unchanged. HP unchanged, armor unchanged, percent max HP unchanged. This part of it is changed. It doesn't slow at max stacks anymore. You just deal 40 plus 100% base of your AD as physical damage. And the strength of slowing effects on you is reduced by 30%. So you can't get slowed as much. So that's nice. Yeah, it is the base tank item. It's just most tanks in lane will probably not build it because it'll probably want Sunfire or Hollow Radiance. Random's Omen, price unchanged, recipe unchanged, HP unchanged, armor lowered by 5. Every first attack lowers, blah blah blah, reduces this, unchanged. I believe this part is stronger. Critical resilience. Critical strikes deal 25 less damage to you, and now it's 30% less damage to you. So fuck you, Tryndamere, fuck you, Yone, and fuck you, Yasuo. And I guess every crit 80 carry, but mostly those 3 people I said before. Hecarim item? Oh shit, say side. Oh, a Dead Man's Plate? Yeah. Hecarim will definitely build that. He's just gonna build up the stacks and slap you with it. But this is nice. Everything is unchanged, but the crit reduction is just increased. Armor is down, but that's fine. So this is very nice. Force of Nature. Same HP, less magic resist. Same movement speed. Absorb. Taking magic knife from an enemy champion grants a stack of Steadfast. Up to a maximum of 7 for 7 seconds. Enemy immobilizing effect grants an additional 2 stacks. One spell can add a new stack of 7 every 1 second. Dissipate will add 8 stacks of Steadfast, gain 70 magic resist, and 10% increased movement speed. Goodness gracious, 70 magic resist. I'm pretty sure it got Omega buff, no? Force of Nature. At max stacks, gain 30 bonus magic. Yeah, it definitely got buffed. Because now you just gain 30 bonus magic resistance. So in the past, you could get up to 90 magic resist with Force of Nature. But now with 50 plus 70, you gain 125 magic resist. So technically, Force of Nature is back to being the strongest magic resist item. The only thing that probably rivals it is still Rookern, because this gives you 80 magic resist instantly, which is like 25 more magic resist. But what may outdo it is that you get a shield based on 20% of your max HP. So if somebody goes full AP and you have a tank and your tank builds these 2 items, you're fucking fucked. That's kind of cool. Iceborne Gauntlet, probably fucking got it. Feels bad. Costs 400 less gold, which is nice because I guess you can rush it faster against maybe Tryndamere or something. Sheen now is more expensive. It costs like 1,000 gold to get Sheen. Gotta remember that. Health is down, armor is not changed, ability haste is down. This passive looks long as fuck. Is it longer than before? Maybe. After using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with additional 100% base attack physical damage. Create a frost field for 2.5 seconds. Enemy move. That was changed. I'm not reading all that shit. After using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with same thing. Create a frost field for 2 seconds, so less time. Enemies that move across the field are slow by 20%, plus 4% per 1,000 health. I don't care about the ranged one. Okay, so slow by 15%, plus 4%. Oh, so the initial slow is stronger? Yeah, the slow is stronger now on Gauntlet. It was slow for 15%. Enemies within the zone. But now you slow them by 20%. So that's technically stronger. And you can still increase the slow by an additional 4% per 1,000 health. Interesting. That's cool. Okay. But no more damage reduction, so... This item is just for slowing people, not for the most part. Same armor, less HP, but no more damage reduction. Feels bad. This just costs 200 less gold. Okay. 400 less HP, and pretty sure this part of it just got buffed. That's my guess. Oh, this part looks nerfed. 15. It was 15 and now it's 12. This part looks the same. Increase by 25 against minions. Yeah, for 3 seconds, taking the damage duration. Refresh the duration. Yep, the same. Damage enemy champion for weapon. Adds that stack, same, increasing. Up to 6 times for, yeah. The only thing that changed, I don't know why they did all this shit when the only thing that changed was it went from 15 to 12. That's the only difference I see. If I miss something, fuck it. Sunfire is still Sunfire. Less HP, more armor, bless. Based on change, health regen removed. Passive, everything else unchanged. I actually like this item where I know I have one really strong carry and I can't split push anymore and I'm grouping up. I buy this item. I low-key actually buy this item. Especially if the carry is a Vayne or a Kog'Maw or something. I'm like, I'm just gonna put this on you. Don't fucking die. Feels nice. But here is the great buff. Well, a great buff and a great nerf actually for us. Frozen Heart cost is reduced by 400 gold, so you can get this very cheap. This is even cheaper than Abyssal Mask. The armor is reduced by 20, mana is unchanged, and everything else is unchanged. But we can still reduce somebody's attack speed by 20. But the reason why I said this could be a big nerf is because the passive of Frozen Heart applies to Yorick's pets. So if you ever buy Frozen Heart against Yorick, his pet's attack speeds will be reduced by 20%. Maybe I shouldn't have said that part. Let's keep going. Fuck me. Assassin items. New item, Voltaic Cyclo Sword. Lethality. Basically, I remember most of this item. This is a fleet footwork item for assassins or a charge assassin, not charge, energized item. Moving and attacking will generate an agile attack. Dashes and stealth stack energized 75% faster. So you can see Rangar go in the jungle with fleet footwork and build this item. Basically. They name these items for 12-year-olds? Maybe. Firmament. It's real. Your agile attacks applies 100% bonus critical damage and slows enemies for 99% for almost a second. 20% for range champion. So basically, this is the passive that was on not Dustblade, but is it Dustblade? Prowler's Claw. This is the effect that was on Prowler's Claw when you attack somebody. But yeah. Zed enjoyers, potentially as Zed, Talon, Rangar, Pike. You basically would just attack somebody, and if you apply the energized attack, you're gonna slow them very hard. 18 lethality, 15 attack damage. It's just a nice item. There's a Brutalizer, which is an item that is back. Profane Hydra, God bless. 3,400, very expensive, fuck me. 60 attack damage, 18 attack. Vitality, ability ace, active. This is actually broken. Deal 80% of total attack damage to nearby enemies. This damage is increased by 120 total attack damage, physical damage, to enemies below 30% health. So this Hydra is used to execute people. So if you ever seen a Rangar do their combo midair of W and with E into W into Q with Hydra proc, they can technically one-shot you with that combo. Zed can probably use this too if he wants more wave clear. At the end of his death mark, he may just apply Profane Hydra. Pike can use this to get you lowered for his ultimate if Pike mid becomes a thing again. Who else? You could see Kled use this on his last proc, or before his last proc of his W, since Kled's last proc of his W deals missing HP damage. So on the third hit, if you apply it, it's gonna make his fourth one deal more damage, or you can just stack it onto the fourth one as well to deal even more damage. But you gotta remember, this damage is increased by this amount to enemies below 30% health. So you gotta make sure that they get below 30% to get that bonus. But you can just still use this in combos. So you can actually even see Riven use this if they don't want Ravenous, for example. But I'm pretty sure Ravenous enjoy Ravenous too much to go Profane Hydra. But you never know. We could also use this ourselves, not gonna lie, because if we land E and you have Lethality, it's gonna burst the enemy, and by the time you get close, you can like auto Q Profane Hydra or auto Profane Hydra Q. That's probably faster. So yeah. Looks like lethal being 100% bonus upon purchase went live. Yeah, it did go live. So 18 lethality is like 18 armor pen. So if somebody has 30 armor, you actually attack them as if they have 12 armor instead. So if you buy a lot of lethality items, you're gonna actually start doing true damage to them very quickly. Hubris. This is basically the AD version of Magi's, technically. Not really, but technically. You could see some AD carries that could snowball build this, like Draven, technically. Especially with the name called Ego. But yeah, when you kill an enemy, you are granted a statue of yourself. If you already have a statue, this statue upgrades. Eminence. When a champion that you have damaged within the last 3 seconds dies, gain 10 plus 1 per rank of statue. Attack damage for 60 seconds. So when you kill somebody and you want to reset, you're gonna gain 10 attack damage plus 1 for each additional kill you've gotten while you had this item. So this is for like snowballing characters. Maybe Kha'Zix likes this. So he kills one person, he gains more attack damage to kill the next one, and then it keeps repeating over and over again. It's for that type of character. Even Draven will technically use this. He kills one person, gains AD, and even more, and tries to kill the next person. He keeps going until the 60 seconds runs out. I don't know if we would enjoy this, but we could potentially enjoy this. The statue thing is fun though. That's for sure. Opportunity used to be called Zoomies. 55 attack damage, 18 letalities, 6% movement speed. This probably builds out a Rectrix, which is this item here. This is what we read earlier. 20 attack damage and 4% movement speed. It's like a small item. Passive preparation. After being out of combat with champions for 8 seconds, gain 5 up to 10 lethality based on level. This lethality lasts for 3 seconds after dealing damage to champions. Passive. Extraction. If a champion dies within 3 seconds of damaging them, gain 150 decaying movement speed for 1.5 seconds. So basically this is like you kill somebody and then you run. That's it. So you can see Rangar kill somebody and then he's gonna run the fuck off. And as you're out of combat, you're gonna gain more lethality based on your level. So technically you could see Hecarim build this if he wants to go lethality burst, because his passive gives him more AD the faster he is, and this gives 6% bonus. And if he kills somebody, he's gonna gain movement speed again, so it's gonna increase his AD again. So he can either keep going in or he can run out. So that's basically what it is. We could technically use this. I don't know if we would, because we will. If we have a pet somewhere on the map attacking something, we would not be out of combat, so we wouldn't get the lethality. So it's not an item for us, I would say, but you could build it if you know for sure you have no pets on the map. Brutalizer, an old lethality item or armor pen item back then, is back. 25 attack damage, 10 ability haste, and 8 lethality. Grudge. For Grudge. Out of combat with champions? Oh, never mind then. I misread it. Let me recheck. after being out of combat with champions for 8 seconds. Oh, it's fine then. As long as our pets don't hit somebody randomly. Then yeah, we can definitely use it then, potentially. Run up and catch him and land E. Kill them and run out. If you want to enjoy lethality. But Serelda's Grudge. Same cost. And that builds out of Brutalizer and Last Whisper. The difference is that it has an lethality, armor, penetration ratio. So gain 20 plus 11% lethality, armor penetration. And the passive is different. Bitter Cold. Damaging. Did they keep it the same? This used to be damage ability slows enemy by 30 seconds for 1 second. I gotta check because I know they quoted the article earlier. I'm pretty sure they did, unless I'm fucking. Let me check. Not this one. Game updates. I gotta find it. I gotta see for sure that they actually changed it or not. This one. Riftmaker. Damn it. Yeah, they did change it. It used to be damaging allies slows enemies below 50% health for 30 by 30% for 1 second. But now they just reverted Grudge. Now the enemy does not need to be apparently they don't need to be below. It may be a typo, I'm not gonna get copium. But we could technically still use Grudge then. The only bad side is that if we don't have an additional lethality item, the armor penetration won't be as high. But if you only want the item for the slow, then you can just ignore that part because it still gives 20 armor penetration. Interesting. Well, if it doesn't have the requirement of the enemy being low to slow them, we can still use it. If this is a typo and it does have the requirement, then that sucks. But I had not a fix, but I had a build to like circumvent that because I'm not a lethality enjoyer, but I am a Grudge enjoyer because the slow makes Yorick very strong. It makes you catch up to people because otherwise, if you try to play without Grudge, at some point you're just gonna get kited for so long and it sucks. Lethality plus 20, yeah, it is gonna hurt. But yes, lethality, not lethality. Serelda's is still on the table then. It's still on the menu. Nice. So it did Dirk, cost down, AD damage down. Unchange. Yomu's ability haste gone. Active gain 25 movement speed for ghosting. Now gain 20% movement speed for 6 seconds. Passive Haunt. Gain 40 moves while out of combat. Okay. The other part has been removed. But Yomu's cost has been removed. I mean, lowered. So it's back to just being a lethality item that just gives you a lot of movement speed. It's probably for the better. Since it's not a mythic anymore. Nice. I guess... Oh god, lethality Hecarim is gonna be back then. Because... Hecarim may just build Yomu's opportunity with Deadman's Plate and Shojin and just run you down. So first item, Hecarim can technically still build Shojin. After that, he gets Yomus maybe because it's cheap. Then after Yomus, he gets Opportunity. And then he could just get Deadman's if he wants to use that part of it if he needs armor. Bruh. Well, that's something. That's fucking something. I'm not too worried because whenever Hecarim is too strong, he eventually gets nerfed. So they'll just adjust his passive or lower his AD ratios or adjust the items. Even Bruiser will benefit. I wonder if you can build BC and Grudge. Maybe. But they didn't add that part. But I would have to see. I didn't check yesterday because I assumed they kept it the same. Axiom Arc. Whenever a champion dies within 3 seconds of you damage in there, refund 10 plus 30% lethality of your ultimate ability total cooldown. And this was refund 10 plus 0.4 per 1 lethality. Well, they just changed the way the ratio works. But it still has a lethality ratio. Funny enough, this item, if you kill people while Maiden is up, when Maiden dies, as long as you have this item, it does reduce Maiden's cooldown. You don't technically build it, but it is possible to do it. So if you wanted a random lethality item as last item or whatever, you could get this. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's there. But you'll probably see this on assassins that like ultimate resets. Like Rengar, Kha'Zix, Talon, Nocturne, just for his ultimate. Bro, imagine Nocturne buying this item plus experimental Hexplate. Fuck my life. Let me stop talking about that item. Did they change anything about Umbral? When spotted by an enemy ward, reveal traps. And the symbol words are on you for 8 seconds. Attacks do 3 to damage wards. Did I already do this? These traps, attacks deal 2. Oh, they increased the damage to words from 2 for melee to 3 for melee, and 2 to ranged. I guess if you're melee, you're gonna one-shot the words then. Nice. Serpent's Fang cost down, bless. Actually, bless. Recipe slightly changed. Everything else is unchanged, it looks like, so it's just cheaper. I just say bless because sometimes I'm fighting characters like Riven or Mordekaiser that actually live just because of their giant shield, and being able to lower their shield just feels very nice. So yeah, I like this change. Marksman items, fuck ADCs. The following items have been removed. Rage Knife and Gale Force, bless. Stop fucking dashing, just die. Respectfully. Terminus. Recurve Bow plus BF plus Dagger. 40 attack damage, 30 attack speed. Passive, Shadow. Attacks apply 30 magic on hit. Okay. Passive, Juxtaposition. So that's how you spell that word. I never knew that. I actually never knew how to spell that word because I never saw the word written before. Only heard about it. There's alternate between light and dark on hits each attack. Light attacks grant 3 up to 5 armor and magic resist, up to 15 to 25 for 5 seconds. Dark attacks grant 6 armor penetration and magic penetration, up to 30% for 5 seconds. Damn. So if you get to attack somebody 10 times, you apply both. But as you're attacking somebody, you're gonna gain more armor and magic penetration, and you're gonna gain more resistance. So this is for on hits 80 carries that are hybrid as well. So Kaisa, Twitch, Vayne, Callista, Master Yi, Kog'Maw, especially Kog'Maw actually. Bel'Veth potentially if he wants this, if he needs it even. That's interesting. Technically, if Jax wanted armor penetration, he could buy this item as well. It's very weird, but I guess it exists. Rageblade cost down, everything else unchanged it looks like. Attack is hit, critical strike conversion removed. Oh, so they removed the part where you can't crit somebody anymore. Or they removed the part where the conversion exists. So I'm guessing you can crit people again? Basic attack run 8% stack and attack speed up to 4 times for up to 35% attack speed while it's fully stacked. Every third attack applies on hit attacks twice. Note, Phantom hit synergy with Kraken Slayer has been reintroduced. Oh, okay. Okay, this is just a unhit item for Bork enjoyers, I guess. I can actually see Kog'Maw building Bork, Rageblade into Terminants every single game. It's kind of funny. Infinity Edge, go down, crit damage, critical strike damage down, AD unchange, and critical unchange. Recipe change a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna just hard roll the 80 carry items because I don't care about most of them. Or maybe something specific change. Your attacks reduce your non-abilities cooldown by 12% of their remaining cooldown. 15%, so they reduce that. And the recipe is less, and it costs less gold. GA cost unchanged, armor up, attack damage up. Used to restore 30% of your maximum mana and 50% of your basic health. Now it's 50 again, and restore 100% of your maximum mana after 4 seconds of stasis. Cooldown is the same, and it builds out of Steel's Sigil, which is basically that AD armor item that builds into Death Dance as well. Okay, GA buff for the most part. Armor up and attack damage is up. Immortal Shield Bow, unchanged. Upon taking lethal damage, gain shield. Seems like the shield got buffed. Attack speed bonus triggering lifeline has been removed. Less so. They no longer gain attack speed when the shield is active, but the shield is stronger. And the lifesteal is increased. Samira Enjoyer's Gober. Kraken Slayer attack speed up. And I guess now the true damage part or magic part of this item, it now applies again to Rageblade. Okay. Lord Dominance, unchanged, AD up. Deal 50% bonus physical damage to champion with greater maximum health than you. Maximum damage increase reached when health difference is greater than 2000. And it used to be the 2022 bonus maximum at, so they lowered the maximum, but they lowered the threshold for the maximum damage by 500, but they also reduced the bonus damage by 7. Okay. Phantom Dancer, less attack speed, more movement speed. Grand stacking, same to 5 stacks. Okay, so attack speed is down, but you get more stacks of it, and it has more movement speed. Okay. Unchanged, more attack speed. Anything here? Oh, they removed the AP ratio. Fuck you, LeBlanc. Max Damage hitting up to 6 targets. Hits 6 targets. I mean, hits 6 targets. Like, that doesn't. What? It's 6, 9, 12 targets. Okay, now it can only hit 6 targets. Okay. Limited. Gold increased. AD increased. Unchanged. What? 100 gold for 100 extra gold for 5 extra AD. Noon Quiver into Cloak into Shard. I guess they're just a slight nerf to it. Collector, more attack damage, less lethality. Everything else is unchanged. Gold up by 100. Fuck you, GP. Everything is unchanged. Support item quests. Goodness gracious. This part is actually fun for support. For anybody that actually enjoys supports. Basically, because I don't want to explain this part too much or read everything they have there. Yeah, the number of targets change. But basically for supports, they start with World Atlas. The more you attack somebody and the more minions you get with like the execute, like where you share gold with your AD carry, the more you can lower or reach the quest of World Atlas. And at some point, World Atlas will become Runic Compass. And the stats increase by a bit. From 30 health to 100 health, mana regen up, gold per second up. And I think this is where you gain gold regeneration. Damaging ability and attacks or structures grant 34 gold. Killing a minion by enemy. Kill a minion by any means grants you 25 gold, and the nearest ally the same amount of gold they receive. And then this upgrades into Bounty of Worlds once you've gained 1000 gold. So basically this item is telling you to like, you buy this for 400 gold, and then once you've accumulated 500 gold, you get Runic Compass. And then once you've gained 1000 gold from it, well, additionally, it becomes Bounty of Worlds, and then you get to choose all these different support items. This Celestial Opposition, this reduces damage you're gonna take. More for melee, less for range, lingering for 2 seconds after taking damage from a champion. When the shield breaks, unleash a shockwave around you that slows enemies by 50% for 1.5 seconds. Effect refreshes after leaving combat for 20 seconds. So this is for like protective supports that maybe need peel, but they're not gonna get peel. And you're basically going to reduce incoming damage by 35% if you're melee or 25% if you're ranged. So Soraka may have this if people want to kill her. Lulu can have this if people want to kill her. Janna can have this if people want to kill her. Especially if the enemy has like assassins, like they're going to jump right on top of you, or a lot of divers. So think of like Rangar ulting onto Soraka. She's going to reduce the damage by 25%. And when the shield breaks, it is going to unleash a shockwave, slowing the enemies around by 50%. So if you're gonna get jumped by an assassin, that's gonna help you. I don't know which tank could build this, but I'm guessing they still would want it. But I'm guessing you go in as the tank like Leona, and then you slow people around you. So for both parts it works. It works for engaged supports that want to reduce the incoming damage as they go in. And they're mostly way back, like they're not getting poked. And on the other side is for protecting champions like Soraka and Sona. Yorick hype? Yes, sir. How you doing, Coincident? Solstice Lace. This is basically if you slow somebody or CC somebody, you and your allies will gain movement speed for 4 seconds. So slowing or immobilizing an enemy champion grants you and a nearby ally with the lowest amount of health of 120 bonus health, 90 movement speed for 4 seconds. So if Janna just W somebody, she's gonna gain 90 movement speed along with an ally for 4 seconds. I actually fought this yesterday and that shit was broken. I'm not gonna lie to you. Janna's just literally fast as fuck. Because you just have to slow somebody or CC somebody. Yorick be so broken now when he can to pick Aftershock nor Glacial. you saw this thing too? I saw it, I'm like, why did they do it? Like, why? Like, you could have done so many things. Why did you just limit it for no reason, you know? I guess it's something, but why would you do it, you know? It just doesn't make sense to me. Rip Glacial and Aftershock, I guess. Blood Song. This is basically like a Sheen passive of Spellblade. Spellblade, after using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with additional 150 base damage on hits. If the target is a champion, apply Expose Weakness, increasing the damage you take by 12%. So this is basically like a Sheen proc with PTA on top of it. So a damage support can take this if they're auto attack based, or an AD support can take this like Pyke. So let's say Pyke hooks you and then he auto attacks you, now you take 12% more increased damage. Or if Senna auto attacks you, like she Qs and autos, now you take 12% increased damage. Well, for Senna, she's ranged, she gains 8% instead. But yeah, this is who the item is for. Or Sona, if she wants to do the Spellblade active. But yeah. You can probably see this on Sona if they want it, Pyke if they want it, Senna, most likely. I would say other AD supports like Ashe players that do this, but Ashe players will probably go Sosa Slay, since each time they slow somebody, they're gonna gain 90 movement speed for 4 seconds. It does have a 20-second cooldown, but I can see them building that instead. But yeah. This is for aggressive supports, but not poke supports, because there is one for poke supports. I saw your tweet. What does the Yorick change meaning? It basically means that if you try to lock in Yorick with Glacial Augment or Aftershock, the game will change your rune to First Strike if you took Glacial, and change it to Grasp if you took Aftershock. The reason being is because realistically, we don't take Aftershock or Glacial Augment often, if at all. And I'm pretty sure you're talking about this. But there are some players that like to play Yorick support or Yorick jungle with Glacial, or just pick it to have fun in normals or other game modes like, any other game mode like Nexus Blitz, stuff like that. It just sucks that it removes the option, which I guess kind of sucked. But that's basically the reason why I'm like, why would you bother doing this change when nobody really takes these by accident anyway? But yeah, that's what it does. It just, if you did it by accident somehow, if you took Aftershock, you get Grasp. If you took Glacial, you took First Strike. But I wouldn't say it's still needed, you know? Follow age broken. Then what the fuck? I guess I gotta fix my follow age, whatchamacallit. Or it worked for Stream Elements, but it didn't work for Nightbot. Maybe I just need to kill the one for Nightbot. My bad. You've been following for 8 months? Sheesh. Welcome back, Mr. Nice Guy. Set support, maybe? Yeah, set support can definitely use that, actually. The Blood Song. But let's continue. Dream Maker. gain a blue. Oh, I remember this one. It's kind of weird. I'm wondering if they change it, so I'm gonna read it fully before I say what I know it does. Gain a blue dream bubble and a purple dream bubble every 8 seconds. Healing and shielding an ally blows both dream bubbles to them and empowers them for 3 seconds. The blue bubble reduces incoming damage. Wait, the blue bubble reduces 140 incoming damage on the next hit, and the purple bubble grants 40 bonus magic damage on the next hit. I don't know who the fuck wants this. But I'm guessing if your AD carry is a hybrid or like to deal magic damage on hit, or you just want to protect them, you can see, I guess, Yumi use this maybe to reduce the incoming damage to your carry staying in. Because if you're playing with a Yumi, both enemies are just going to focus you, so it would make sense. And Yumi can heal and shield, so I can see her using this. Karma can technically use this, but I'm pretty sure she's going to use the next support item. I don't really know who's going to use this. Lulu can technically use this as well. But again, I'm pretty sure most supports will just use... If they can slow you, they're going to use Souls to Slay. Because movement speed is invaluable. Zazak's Realm Spike, Void Explosion, dealing ability damage to a champion. Dealing ability damage to a champion causing explosion at your current location. Damage the target and nearby enemies, dealing 50 plus 3% max health magic damage. Capped at 300 against monsters. You can deal that against monsters? The fuck? 9 down to 6 second cooldown based on level. Basically, this is for poke support. So Zerath can take this, Zara can take this, Valkos can take this, Brand can take this, and even Karma can take this if they want to. Or Sona can take this as well. Seraphine, especially if the enemy has a tank, since this has a 3 maximum health magic damage. So you just basically poke somebody to death in lane with this. So yeah, in summary, everybody start with Atlas. Once you gain 500 gold from it, it becomes Runic Compass. And then once you gain 1000 gold, it becomes Bounty of Worlds. All these do is basically grant you more stats. From 25 magic regeneration to 50 to 100. Wait, no, it actually stayed at 50, report me. But after you reach Bounty of Worlds and you gain 1000 gold, you can choose between these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 support items. This is for engage support or enchanter supports that can slow. Basically, those that enjoy Shurelias, they can use this. Blood Song is for those that like Sheen abilities or basically want to increase the damage your AD carry deals against somebody. This is for enchanters mostly, since you're healing and shielding, and if you want to protect your AD carries, like Yumi can probably use this, Lulu can use this, maybe even Janna. But I can mostly see Janna using this one for the movement speed, since it matches with her passive. And this is for supports that are most likely to get jumped, like Soraka, since it reduces incoming damage and slows nearby enemies. So if the enemy has divers like Rengar or Jarvan, if they ever get jumped, the enemy around them will get slowed. Or if you're Leona and you go in and the shield is still there, you're going to slow people around you once they attack you and break the shield. So yeah, that's the enchanted items. This is just a new CDR item, glowing emote. It builds into... You can build it with boots to get Ionian boots or Lucidity boots. Dawn Core is new. I don't think I remember it. Gain 3% heal and shield power and 5 ability power per 100% mana regeneration. Okay. I'm guessing more mana regeneration you have, the more healing and shielding you can do. So maybe Yumi would guilt this since she has mana problems. That's my guess. Pretty sure not much has changed from Echo of Helios. Pretty sure. But you deal damage and heal people every now and then. Healing and shielding. I'm pretty sure some of these just got slightly changed numbers-wise. Nothing too big from last time. The attack speed from ardent sensors has been increased. Magic damage reduced. Doran's now has Lifesteal Bless. I say Bless, but maybe I won't still buy this item. It depends. It doesn't have Omnivamp anymore, because Omnivamp has been changed. Our pets can actually apply Omnivamp now, along with AoE effects, so maybe that's probably why they removed it. Doran's Shield to restore 1.5 mana, gain 40% of this value as health instead if you cannot gain mana. So they reduce the mana regen, and they remove restore 1 mana, Rip Dorns. And then there's a new rune, Triple Tonic. At level 3 you get Avarice. This lets you deal 5 extra true damage to minions for 60 seconds, and at the end of it you gain 40 gold, so that's nice. At level 6 you get Elixir of Force. This gives you Adaptive Force for 60 seconds, so maybe after you hit level 6 you can use this in a fight to have a bit more damage. Then at level 9 you gain Elixir of Skill, and this gives you a free skill point. Note this does not grant a level or modify the rules of adding skill points into abilities. You basically just get to add an additional skill. I'm guessing just at level 18 you can't. You basically maxed out everything already. Kind of the same as Rod of Ages gives you an extra skill point at max stacks. If you go first strike, you could take this if you want, since you get 40 gold here if you really want it. Otherwise, just a new rune because stopwatch is gone. Fuck stopwatch. Bless. Tower adjustments. Towers have been fragile. Let's see what they do. Inner tower health increase. Inhibitor tower health increase. Nexus tower health increase. Backdoor bonus. Now reduces true damage to towers rather than nullifying it entirely. Nice. Backdoor reduction amount 60% to 80%. Nice. So this basically means we can't have Hullbreaker and tank the towers because they're gonna be very tanky. They're gonna reduce damage by 80% instead of 60%. That's a lot of sixes, bro. Somebody help. Satanic as fuck, I gotta say. Yeah, they're basically adjusting this, so when there's no allied minions around, the towers are very tanky. So yeah. Rank changes. What are they doing here? I remember this. Alongside the launch of new season, we also be making behind the scenes changes that should help improve overall rank experience. Narrowing Emerald tier. Overall, the new Emerald tier is accomplishing a goal of spreading out the ladder. The range of skill level with Emerald is currently a bit too wide, so we're going to make Emerald a bit smaller. How? This, among others, should also help to correct instances of players' Emerald rank and above receiving more LP per loss than per win. Oh, it should correct, so you're not gonna lose more LP than you ever gain. Visible randomness. While promoting ranks was made easier, there weren't many adjustments to the motions, which led to some players having much higher visible ranks than their actual MMR. To correct this, demoting has been made a little easier to help avoid situations when a player could have a visible rank of Platinum, but actually has a Silver MMR. Damn, that's crazy. Additionally, we also made adjustments to matchmaking so that the range of visible ranks with lobby are tighter. I'm guessing this is to make sense where sometimes even I'm playing an Emerald and then I see a Gold player and I'm like, huh? Or rarely I see a Silver player, or even if I'm in Diamond, I see a random as Plat player and I'm like, huh? This is what they're fixing. Making sure that you only see people one rank above you or one rank below you for the most part, if you're close to it at least. Modified LP gains. The LP gains increase to plus 25 or minus 25 per game we introduced last game has done a good job of helping players move up or down division with a session. We're currently pretty happy with. That said, we've learned that this amount of LP isn't sustainable in tiers Emerald and above, where breadth of skill is higher. Due to this, LP gains at Emerald and above have been decreased to roughly 20 plus. So you gain 20. You either gain 20 or lose 20 LP at Emerald plus, instead of gaining 20 or losing 25 plus, like everybody else. New player placements. We updated how new players are placed in rank, which should place them closer to their appropriate skill level. Nice. Fist bumps. I guess we can be honorable now. That's right. Riot Games, whose logo is a fist bump, added an interaction fist bump into League of Legends for you to celebrate all the hype moments in League. All you need to do is activate the emote, wait for another teammate to use the emotes, and then boom, fist bump achieved. Cue the fireworks. No, the default keybind for this is U. Funny enough, my U keybind is what I use for danger. And on the PvE, since I have it as that as well, whenever I ping somebody away with danger, the fist bump showed up. So it may actually happen when it goes live again too. That's going to be annoying. I'll probably have to change fist bump to something else. The fist bump emote will only be visible to allied... Wait, fist bump emote will only be visible to allied teammates, and in the incredibly embarrassment event that a teammate does not fist bump you, your feedback can just form into a thumbs up. That's kind of toxic, I'm not gonna lie. Dynamic music. It's been nearly 10 years since the last update on Summoners Made music. We already have music that's working. We wanted to find a way to live it up even more. Oh yeah, they said they wanted to make the music change depending the phase of the game. If it's early game, mid game, or late game. But in addition to all of these new and updated void creatures come to the Rift, we felt like there was a real opportunity to use music to enhance the feeling of taking these objectives. Cue dynamic music. This new dynamic music system can be broken down into 3 components: location music, contextual music, and situational music. Location music changes with your locations. We're introducing musical zones into Summoner's Rift. In other words, you play different music for different locations with the map as you enter them. Right now, it's only Topside River, including Baron Pit, that has unique music, but make sure to check it out. So I'm guessing around Baron Pit, there's different music. Okay, contextual music. Some of you might know that some of the Rift-based music evolves over time with the start of the game. True. This music gradually gets more complex as exciting as towers in the river get taken down. I wish it would, actually. So when we zone out Topside River, we also want to have its own evolution with the zone as well. Music will evolve as the new objectives spawn, with there being a total of 4 evolution states. Neutral, nothing is spawned, Void Grubs, Rift Herald, Baron Asher. I'm guessing the music will change depending which buff is run. Each of the monsters introduce different personality and takes you to rivers, so naturally they each will get their own music as well. Cool, I guess. I like music, so maybe I enjoy it. Situational music changes with your actions. If there was a way to make music react to what you, the player, are doing, the first place to feel natural to tie in is the idea of raid boss music. Why not add music for these void objectives when you're fighting them? This resulted in 3 unique music pieces from when you are fighting Grubs, Rifthold, and Baron. Okay. Given that these changes make the map feel more alive and add a little more corner of the map feel lived. I guess just want to make things feel better. I'm tired of reading. We're deciding to launch dynamic music. Okay. Endgame quest. For each champion with a sunglasses. I remember this. This is Leona. From champions with sunglasses taking 1 less down from Leona's passing to Rift Held dance parties. It is surprising are no strangers to the league. In this patch, we're introducing some additional in-game quests for champions to help bring their vibrant stories and personalities to life to the Rift. Read below for information on the quest, how to activate him, and the rewards you'll get if you're able to win. Okay. This is basically the rivals thing, but they're calling it in-game quest. Wei and Jin, quest information. Juan or Hui must be the first to kill the other using their ultimate ability, proving death or despair as the more powerful art. Okay. Hui and Jin being on the opposing team. It must be at least level 12. Quest: if Jin wins, he turns Wei into Verbius Magnum Opus, earning 4.4 lethality. Cuck. If Hui wins, his vision of pain and peace and art deepen, earning him 3.3 armor penetration. Magic penetration. Okay, that's small. Belvet and Jax. I'm guessing if they kill each other, they get something. Okay, so whoever kills Baron first wins. Mm-hmm. Riffheld must have been taken prior to Baron. Okay, so if nobody takes Riffheld, the quest will just not activate. If you win, receive 5 stacks above that's passive. Basically the attack speed. And 5 more stacks each time he kills her. But if Belvet kills him, Jax will drop a Void Coral that grants Belvet her extended empowered true form. Oh, so if Jax kills Belvet, he gains stacking attack speed from Belvet's passive. But if Belvet kills Jax, she gets the Void Coral from when she kills Rift or Baron. That's kind of fucked for both parts. Bad Blood, Renekton, and Nexus. Renekton has been the opposing team, be level 11. The winner of Bad Blood will become 10% larger while under increased ultimate size and its duration extended by 10%, while the losers' increased size will become 10% smaller. Oh, that's fucking funny. So one will get bigger and get more duration on their ultimate, while the other one gets smaller. Battle of Spirits. Zed and Shen already existed, huh? But I think now it's different. And Shen standing on Shen will the Might of the Dark prove to overcome? Shen will win this quest if he takes down Zed before Zed kills 2 of Shen's nearby allies. Killer or assist will count. Zed will prevail if he kills 2 of Shen's nearby allies without being taken down by Shen. Okay, so basically kill 2 of Shen's friends and Zed wins, or protect your friends and kill Zed. If Shen wins, he gains 30%. His shield will become 30% strong. If Zen wins, his ability from 10 for the week will deal an additional 2% of the target's maximum health. Okay. That's basically its passive. Okay. ARAM. They're just gonna look at ARAM and make sure everything works. Progression. The decision starts. Split for reset. Seasonal challenges. Legendary arms. Displayed one will be Voidborn on the new challenges. So they're adding new challenges, I guess. Prime Wrangler, Rush. Meh. Spectator changes. Also, the delay in ARAM used to be 3 minutes, now it's 60 seconds. Team 5 Tactic, now as Spectator, delay is 60 seconds. Arena has this, and it's all 60 seconds. And for Summoner's Rift, it went from 3 minutes to being 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. So you can basically see what happened before you were able to spec it. Mythic shop, don't care. But I guess let's see who's coming. Empyrean, Zatras, Jack, Sivir. I don't care. Wait, Sivir? I like Sivir. Prestige Maker, I don't care about that skin. Winter Blessed, I already have them. Meh, it'd be like that. Hi, how you doing, Lai? Quality of life changes. Malcause. Salus passive attacks are now a single target for primary target purpose of other systems. For example, this will let him proc to press the attack or kill your HQ with his passive. What's passive ability? Fuck me, bro. Unlucky. Basically, Salus AoE passive will kill our pets now. I guess that's something. What's the new Yorick belt? I'm about to get into that very soon. I'm just checking to see if there's any bug fixes for Yorick. Doubt it. Mordekaiser, Kiana, Kog'Maw, this way, Nico, Akram, Hui, Diego, Hui, Jana, Cosmetic, don't care. And then we have skins, don't care again. Well, in summary, if what they said here is correct about Grudge, it means that we can still use Grudge since it doesn't have the 50%. Somebody doesn't have to be below 50% for us to slow them. We can still use it. The only downside is Grudge has a lethality ratio on it. So if you're not building lethality, the armor pen will not be too strong, but the item still gives a lethality, so it still should be nice. And this still gives armor penetration regardless. So that's kind of nice. A purple cat? What do you mean a purple cat? And thanks for the donation, by the way. I don't have a pop-up on my side of the Twitch, but thank you, La. But what do you mean by a purple cat specifically? And let me continue. Gauntlet doesn't have damage reduction anymore. You can still use it to counter Tryndamere a little bit since the slow is stronger, but that's mostly about it. Hey, oh, now it pops up. Thank you. Thanks again. That's cool, actually. I think you're the first person that ever donated to me, since you can donate to me on YouTube, but you can't donate to me on Twitch. It's kind of funny. But this will basically be the new Yorick build. You either go Triforce, Hullbreaker, Sterrax with Deadman's Plate, and Sundered Sky, because all of them will have basically an 80 ratio on it. Not 80 ratio, like you can have 140 of your base AD on proc. For Triforce, it's every time you proc Sheen is gonna deal that damage. For Hullbreaker, it's every 5th attack, plus the more HP you have, the more damage that's gonna deal. For Sterrax, it just has that passive and increases your bonus attack damage based on your base AD as well. And for Sundered Sky, it's gonna give you a form of healing since Divine is gone. It's gonna crit the enemy, and it will also deal 140% of your base attack damage. And for Deadman's Plate, it's the same thing. At max stacks, you're gonna deal 140 of your base attack damage. So, if you want to go a normal classic bruiser build, you could do Triforce, Hullbreaker, Sterrax Rage, Sundered Sky with Deadman's Plate. The order, you just have to figure it out. you have to figure out whether you go Hullbreaker first, since you can use Hullbreaker to fight champions now, or you can just go Triforce first, and then you get Deadman's or Sunder Sky. Those have to be situational. And in the end, you probably swap one of them out for GA, which is always good. Alternatively, you can go... Alternatively, I can't say that word, fuck my life. You go Black Cleaver, then you get Eclipse, and you can get Sojin. This will basically give you armor penetration, a lot of AD from Eclipse, and it still has the percent max HP damage and the shield. And now Shojin is gonna increase your spell damage, and spell damage increases our pet's damage as well. So you can increase the damage our ghouls deal and the damage Maiden deals at the same time. And if you want some AoE wave clear, in the first build with Triforce and Serax, you can buy Titanic Hydra. So those are the first two builds you can do. You can do Triforce into all those items with 140 base AD damage, or you can go Cleaver with Eclipse and Shojin and be a bit more bursty. And in that build with Cleaver, you can also combine Sundered Sky along with it. Sundered Sky is basically the one with the spear, the one that's in the middle of Sterax and Deadman's Plate. The other build you can do is basically my trademark build that you can technically always do, which is Iceborne Cleaver, Become a Believer. And that will be, you either do Black Cleaver first if you're just fighting somebody, but if you're losing and you're against Tryndamere or something like that, you can go Gauntlet first. So Gauntlet, Iceborne Cleaver, not Cleaver, Gauntlet and Cleaver, and then you get Deadman's Plate for some movement speed, along with Hullbreaker and Sterax if needed. What about Dustblade? Dustblade does not exist anymore. Dustblade is gone. I don't have all the lethality items here on this picture specifically, but there is other lethality items that we can use that I will show later. But yeah, for this tank build of Iceborne Cleaver, you go Iceborne Cleaver, Deadman's Plate if you need it, and then Hullbreaker and Sterax. And then, as your last item, you can go Hollow Radiance, or if you need Magic Resist. If you've seen earlier in the video, or if you've seen my earlier video last month on YouTube, you will know that Hollow Radiance will deal magic damage, and if your pet's last hit the minion is gonna explode, giving you wave clear. And since now Liandry's has HP again, and our pets can apply it, and it has a 6% bonus damage amp, meaning your pets are gonna deal 6% bonus damage at max stacks with Liandry's, it means that if you go full tank and don't go Hullbreaker or Sterax and just go with Iceborne, Cleaver, Hollow Radiance, and then grab Liandry's, you will actually still have decent damage. And you can buy Abyssal Mask to lower the enemy's magic resist a little bit more if you want, especially if you're going a hybrid build with a lot of AP items. Outside of that, you may just go Jackshow if you actually just need one tank item. Then Jackshow is the default tank item that is very strong. The other one in the middle that's in between Jackshow and Abyssal Mask is Unending Despair. And that one is okay, but it would need further testing to see what it does or how good the healing is. But that item, basically every 7 seconds in combat, is gonna deal magic damage around you and make you heal based on 250% of the damage that dealt. So you can basically heal for 100 HP-ish for all the enemies you hit around you. So if you're gonna be in a team fight and tank with Yorick, you could build that item. It's an armor and HP item. And the last build is basically similar to the first one, but way more into lethality, where you do the same of Black Cleaver with Eclipse, but you can also go Ravenous if you like, and you can go Grudge if you need it to slow the enemy. You can get Collector, but instead of getting Ravenous Hydra for healing, you can also get Profane Hydra instead, since it has an Execute active, since now you can activate the Hydras again, the Tiamat items again. But to go over one of these specific lethality items that are not on this picture, let me show you it. Hold on. Since there are some other options that we do have. Hello, by the way, Dubious. How you doing? So Yorick will be build more tanky than before. Yes, you can go tank with AD items, or you can still go heavy on AD if you like with lethality. Is BRK still there? Can it be Val Yorick against a tank now? Blade of the Ruin King? Yes, Blade of the Ruin King, it is still there. You could potentially build it, but if you want to kill a tank, I would just suggest building Leandries, especially since most tanks will build armor, and if you build Leandries, they will not expect it. And Leandries actually has a passive that makes you deal 6% bonus damage against an enemy. That also will help you kill tanks. But Dustblade is gone, and now we have this one. But this one Yorick can't use because you need to dash or stealth to stack it faster. But you could technically still use it if you go Fleet Footwork on Yorick, and when you apply it, you slow somebody for 99% for like almost a second. But this is why if you're going with Cleaver or not Cleaver, but one thing I forgot to mention is you can't build Black Cleaver and Grudge anymore together. The game won't allow you. Kind of like you can't build all three Hydras together. You can't build Profane Hydra, Titanic Hydra, or Ravenous Hydra together. The same limitation in the system has been added for Black Cleaver and Grudge. It isn't noted in the patch notes, so they maybe have removed that, but I'm pretty sure it should still be there. But we would have to see tomorrow for sure. Maybe I'll put a note in the video if I found out later after this. But Profane Hydra, when you activate it, if the enemy is below 30% health, the bonus damage that it's gonna deal, that's based off your total attack damage, is gonna be increased to 120% of your total attack damage. So if you do go lethality with Eclipse or just a bunch of other lethality items, you can use this to execute people when they're very low. Instead, if you don't go Ravenous for sustain. Hubris is like if you're snowballing, you can think of it like a Magi's items for 80s, but I don't think we would build this. One that we could build is Opportunity, which gives us movement speed when we're out of combat with champions. So it gives us movement speed. this thing here on the I don't know when I hit mute by accident, but basically Dead Man's Blade has this 100% base damage. The same thing goes for whatchamacallit, Triforce. It has 200% base physical damage. Sunder Sky has it as 140 base damage. And then we have Hullbreaker that also has that now. As 140 as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 140 base AD. That's why I had those items together in the build. That you can build all of them to have very good base damage and hit somebody very hard if you go normal bruiser, but you could also just go a very fast lethality build if you like, if that's what you enjoy to play on Yorick, with not cleaver. You basically get that Dead Man's Blade probably last or 5th item. You get Profane Hydra probably first for Wave Clear, Opportunity, Sorello's Grudge for the slow, and then Yomu's. And you can probably run around and just chase people and be pretty fast with Dead Man's Blade. But for me personally, again, I'll probably just be using the Bunk Shovel or the Tank Shovel, and maybe the Lethal Shovel with Black Lever and Eclipse. We just have to see how things go tomorrow when the patch is actually live. So if Grush is 30% lethality anymore, we can't use it, and Black Cleaver at the same time. I mean, Black Cleaver should be meta now. Yeah, basically, if you're not going lethality, you should be going Black Cleaver, because if you buy Grudge and you don't have additional lethality, you won't be getting the full bonus out of it. But the important thing is that you don't have to stick to a specific build. You could like mismatch it. An example is you could go Triforce with Hullbreaker, and then you buy Yomu's or Opportunity, and then you buy Sorello's Grudge. So as long as you have at least one lethality item, you should be able to buy Grudge and make it worth it. But at the end of the day, if you're only buying Grudge for the slow because you need it, it shouldn't be too bad. You're just not making full use of the item with the penetration, but honestly, I never cared about the armor penetration on Grudge. I just used the item because of the slow. And it's an 80 item. Since going Rallies, it's kind of troll. So yeah. In the end, this is what we have. But TLDR, make sure you fight for Rift Herald. Not Rift Herald, the Grubbies, because they will be very strong. And it helps you take towers. The map is different as well. So be careful. But in the end, I think Yorick should be fine, but I could be wrong. We would just have to see. Just make sure you focus on getting these monsters at the beginning of the game with your team, and then getting Rift Herald as well. And I think as long as you build items to split push or be tanky if needed, you should be able to win. At least that's what I hope for. I don't know why they did this change for Yorick, but it'd be like that. And the last change that is kind of random is this. That now Salus kills our pets. Such. Which is basically this. Salus passive attacks are now single target for primary targets for the purpose of other systems. For example, this will let him proc press the attack or kill Yorick's ghouls while his passive is available. So when Salus is spinning his chains around, that can kill our ghouls. Kinda like Nocturne passive can also kill our ghouls. That kinda sucks, but in the end, it is what it is. The other weird thing is this thing. if you saw it earlier. If you were somebody that enjoyed Aftershock on Yorick, the game will just give you Grasp. And if you enjoy Glacial Augment on Yorick, the game will give you First Strike. Realistically, you shouldn't be using these, but they were fun to use in odd moments if you're going to support Yorick or just having fun or trying to break the meta. But in the end, tomorrow we will see how good these items are. Again, these are the items that I would recommend. You don't have to go them in the specific order, but these are most likely the ones that are viable for us. The only ones that are viable that I didn't put here is Yomu's and Opportunity that give movement speed. But yeah, we would just have to see how things go. Triforce is still good, it just doesn't stack off towers anymore and doesn't deal bonus damage. Hullbreaker got heavily nerfed, it doesn't give us free resistance, so we do need to buy armor and magic resist now. And the item also is a on-hit item, so every 5th hit, you will deal more damage to the towers. Sterak's now gives us tenacity by default, like 20% tenacity. So we can buy this if the enemy team has a lot of CC. Sunder Sky, which is the spear-looking item, like a Jarvan spear. This one will crit and heal us based on our missing HP. So this could be like if you're looking to heal or you know you're only going to be able to get 1 Q in before you get kited. And Dead Man's Plate is nice now, especially if you're not going for Grudge anymore. And you're looking to be fast enough to either split push or just push in general. Especially since this damage can apply to towers. You can split push harder or rotate around the map with this item. Black Cleaver's penetration is less, down from 24% when it used to be 30%. Eclipse is very strong, it gives more AD now, and it still has a percent max HP damage with a shield, so we could use it alongside Black Cleaver if we're looking to just amp up our pet's damage. And Shojin, it lowers our ability cooldowns, but not per auto attack, it just does that by default now. But the thing that it does do is when you attack with your spells, you're gonna increase your spell's damage by 3%, and this can stack up to, I think, 3, 4, or 5 times, I do not remember. And even though our pets cannot stack this up, the damage amp from this item, Shojin, will still increase our pet's damage in return. Titanic Hydra it's fine. GA, staple, it should be your last item in most cases. And then there's the tank build as usual, and then the best new tank item for us is Hollow Radiance, since it gives us Wave Clear. So again, since Hullbreaker doesn't give us armor and magic resist anymore, we do need to buy armor and magic resist at some point, or we're gonna get a one shot. So we either run very quickly with Dead Man's Plate and the lethality items, or we actually build resistance. For me, I actually like the item since it gives our pets Wave Clear, so I'm gonna build it. Leandry gives HP again and increases our damage, so if you're fighting tanks and you're having a hard time killing them, you can build Leandry's. Abyssal Mask always works, it lowers the enemy's magic resist. And since Maiden deals magic damage, you can use it to just increase her damage and just have a magic resist item that's very cheap. Unending the Spur is mostly if you're looking to group a lot and teamfight and tank. And Shojin is if you're not going to build Dead Man's Plate or Hollow Radiance, but you do need one resistance item. Maybe you just buy this since it gives you 50 armor and magic resist. Lastly, if you like Sustain, and I'm pretty sure a lot of top laners like Riven, Renekton, and even Fiora are going to build Ravenous Hydra. If you don't build Executioners, they may just beat you just by the healing, so you could get Ravenous instead. Death Dance just works if you have a lot of AD or you need anti-burst. Maybe you combine it with Sterak's Gauge to stay alive longer. Profane Hydra is to like execute enemies when they're low. If you're going like a lot of AD items and lethality items. And Collector is just there because it works off our pets. If you're going heavy on lethality. I wouldn't build it, but I know it works, so I kept it there. Is there anything you guys may wonder? Or if you have any questions? For the end, Any builds you think may be better or something else? Because after this, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go chill and knock out and just wait for tomorrow to test out the items. I hope the grouse make a ghoul when you queue them. Oh, they do actually. If you are fighting the grubs, the grub mites, like the white ones, like every 4 seconds in combat, no, every 12 seconds in combat, the grubs, which is basically the big purple ones, will summon 4. And when they die, they give you graves, and if you have maiden, they will give you ghouls instead. But you can also queue them to get ghouls. So you can easily do this either by yourself, or you can do this with an ally. So yeah. You just have to figure it out, in a sense. But yeah. I'm just hoping to have fun next season with this, helping you split push, dealing burn damage to towers. Like that you have a Sojin and then you spear like the item to become a berserker.
Music
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. There's a lot of items that helps you increase your pet damage as well, actually. That's kind of cool. Can't wait to split push with Yorick with the Void Grubs. I can't either, bro. I'm hoping there's definitely a way where you can, like, do them. Because each time you kill these, it's gonna alert the whole map that, basically, you're doing it. So, yeah. But, in the end, that's the patch run now. Map will have music, new emotes, but most importantly, the map is different, a lot of new different items, but this is what we need to focus on, the grub hubs, and referrals, and the builds I've shown before. But, in the end, I believe Yorick should be fine. It may be copium, but we will see. The good thing is that Grudge actually can be used by Yorick still, since it says that the enemy doesn't need to be low for you to slow them. Where is it? Like right here, it says it's basically the same passive as live, but the old Grudge, it says this: damaging ability slow enemies below 50% health by 30% for 1 second. I don't know if they forgot to add this part, or if they just removed it and just kept Grudge the same. Either way, tomorrow we're gonna find out. I doubt they will make a mistake like that, so I'm pretty sure we can still use Grudge. So things are looking a bit better. Hopefully we just have to be strong enough to fight for the grubs. But remember that the grubs will summon like 4 void mites each. So there's gonna be 12 of them spawning, and they're gonna die immediately after. So if you're just around them, you're gonna get 4 graves from these monsters, even if you don't have maiden. And these spawn at 5 minutes. So at 5 minutes, you can definitely walk down with your jungler and tell them to look to fight this and see if you can get one. If you get 5, one of them will help you push whenever you're attacking a tower. If you get all 6, two of them will help you. And with Rift, it also has an incentive of getting the extra buffs of these, because each of these will give you a buff called Hunger of the Void, which will deal true damage to the tower over like a few seconds. It's gonna deal true damage. This part, deal bonus true damage to towers over 3 seconds. This will scale with the number of word grabs lanes. 4 for melee, and 3 for range. and basically this also Rift Herald. The more Void Grubs we get, when we ride Rift Herald and smash her into a tower, we're gonna get 5 plus the number of Hunger of the Void stacks the user has. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Also, the other thing that is very big is if you ever die with Rift Herald will just spawn in base even if you're dead. And if you don't summon Rift Herald, like if you're in the middle of combat and you can't walk away to spawn it, it's just gonna spawn by itself right next to you. So that's gonna be nice. But if nobody else has any questions or anything, that's gonna be it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the builds, have fun climbing, and be careful. Because I'm pretty sure not everybody will know what the items are gonna do, so maybe it's best for you to wait like a few days to play rank, or maybe play normals. But I'll definitely be playing rank tomorrow anyway myself, because I've been waiting for a very, very, very long time just to play with the new items actually on live, since PBE is not fun. So yeah, see you guys next time, and thanks for watching. I think I'm gonna raid a friend before I head out, so yeah. Then I'm gonna go chill and eat and probably upload this on YouTube. I'm gonna send you guys to a fellow Yorick player on Twitch, and for the YouTube side, thank you guys for watching. Probably upload this video tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, tonight. It may be too long, but hey, it is what it is. But take care, guys. See you next time. Good night, buenas noches, goede nacht, buenas noches. Stay safe and stay blessed.